is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Former Prime Minister Minnis dodging the leadership issue for the FNM as the FNM set for a November 27th convention, and the FNM trashing the throne speech. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, October 8th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Stephen Hanna will be joining us. Also this morning, we've got another drawing of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. And throughout the morning, we're getting more of your reaction to the speech from the throne, some of the elements that stuck out to you, especially as it relates to the business community and the business world. We're getting into that in Morning Blend Business. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping at the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, former Prime Minister Dr. Minnis evasive when asked whether he intends to run again for leader of the FNM when the party meets in convention on November 27th to deal with the leadership issue. Minnis asked those questions last night after the party's council meeting at Holy Trinity Activity Center. Asked about the outcome of the meeting and whether he intends to contest the leadership. He said, quote, "I don't discuss party business. At the appropriate time, you all will know what's happening." Speaking with reporters last night, FNM Chairman Carl Culmer had a notable shift in tone on the issue when compared to his interview with reporters after the party's last council meeting 2 weeks ago. Back then, after September 22nd, Culmer told reporters that Minnis will stay on as leader of the party until a new leader is selected at the convention, adding that Minnis is pledging to work with whomever succeeds him to ensure that the FNM is battle-ready for the next election. But when asked last night about reports that Minnis may enter the race, the chairman said, quote, "None of those things were discussed tonight. And at the end of the day, persons are free to nominate." Pressed on the possibility of Minnis running for leader once again, the FNM chairman said, quote, "That's left entirely up to the council. I don't want to speculate. I do not believe in speculation. I believe at the end of the day, the process should take place, and whatever the outcome is, we go from there." Well, the November 27th convention will be the party's first since 2016. It'll take place just over 2 months after the FNM suffered a major defeat in the September 16th general election, which minutes called 8 months before an election was constitutionally due. The FNM won just 7 of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly. Speaking last night, Culmer said they had a regular meeting last night, and the last discussion issue was the convention. Again, that's set for November 27th. Meanwhile, more from the party, the FNM trashing the speech from the throne, saying it failed to address the seriousness of the country's fiscal situation, did not provide details of many of the government's promises, and failed to say how those initiatives would be paid for. In a statement, the party said the speech did not provide the necessary plans and policies that will maintain the significant economic recovery started by the Mintz administration. In other news, Public Works Minister Alfred Sayers says he's conducting a review of all matters that took place at the entities under his remit, including Water and Sewage Corporation. And he said that the corporation's executive chairman, Adrian Gibson, has committed to providing turnover notes to him. Sayers was asked about the controversy surrounding the award of contracts under Gibson's leadership. He's also saying that the downtown straw market will open soon now that many of the required health conditions have been met. He says they've had consultation with the straw market manager and board members, and that he's been briefed on the matter. He said that another meeting will take place in the next week. Social Services Minister Obi Wilshcombe says that since 2018, his ministry has spent $660,000 per year on buildings that were not used. He said the government in 2018 and 2019 signed 2 lease agreements, one for $360,000 per year and the other for $246,000 per year. He says the properties remain unoccupied. He says over the years it's been millions of dollars that were spent. Wilshcombe did not indicate whether the contracts have since been terminated. He said he does not know what the previous administration intended to do with the buildings. 4 more COVID deaths confirmed in the country, bringing the toll so far to 586. 2 of the deaths took place in October and 2 in September. All the victims were women from Grand Bahama, ranging in age from 42 to 88. The latest deaths bring the total number for September 2021 to 118, and the total for October 2021 so far to 6. As of Wednesday, 120 people have been confirmed so far to have died with COVID, but not because of it, while an additional 62 deaths are still under investigation. Overseas, the British government says it is to relax travel rules further next week, a move that will open up many long-distance holiday destinations to travelers for the first time since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic a year and a half ago, as well as dramatically whittling down the number of places from which travelers will be required to quarantine in a hotel. The government said it would recognize the vaccination programs of dozens more countries. In its most dramatic move, it said it will be lifting the hotel quarantine requirement for arrivals to England from 47 countries, including South Africa, Mexico, and Thailand. Though the announcement only relates to England, the other nations of the UK, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland have generally followed suit. After the change comes into effect on Monday, there will only be 7 countries on the so-called red list, which requires all passengers to enter hotel quarantine for 11 nights at a cost of £2,285 or $3,100 for individual travelers. Those 7 countries: Colombia, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Haiti, Panama, Peru, and Venezuela. The changes mean that anyone arriving from the 47 countries removed from the red list will be spared that requirement. A former Australian Prime Minister has accused China of being a bully and expressed enthusiastic support for Taiwan while visiting the democratically ruled island. Former Prime Minister Tony Abbott telling a press conference today in Taiwan that, quote, nothing is more pressing right now than solidarity with Taiwan. China's government has been seeking to isolate Taiwan, which it claims as its own territory. It has stepped up military harassment on the island by flying fighter jets towards Taiwan, with a particularly large demonstration of force starting last Friday and continuing into this week. Abbott's comments were to a conference organized by a think tank backed by the Taiwan government. The Australian government has said the visit is unofficial. And journalist Maria Ressa of the Philippines and Dmitry Muratov of Russia winning the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize today for their fight for freedom of expression in countries where media outlets have faced persistent attacks. The Norwegian Nobel Committee stressed that an independent press is vital in promoting peace. Ressa in 2012 co-founded Rappler, a news website that has focused critical attention on the president of Philippines and his controversial murderous anti-drug campaign. Muratov was one of the founders of the independent Russian newspaper Novaya Gazeta in 1993, one of the most independent newspapers in Russia today. According to the Nobel Committee to protect journalists, 17 media workers were killed in the Philippines in the last decade and 23 in Russia. In sports, in limited minutes for both Trevano Buddy Hield and DeAndre Ayton Wednesday night, they made significant contributions, helping their teams win in the NBA preseason. Hield once again coming off the bench for the Sacramento Kings, basically showing the Kings' intention to use him as a role player this season. He played 22 minutes and shot 4 for 16 from the field and 3 for 13 from deep. He had 11 points off the bench and added 5 rebounds. His team was able to put away the Clippers 113-98. Ayton, the 23-year-old 6'11" starting center of the Suns, is averaging 11 points and 7 rebounds in 2 games in the preseason so far. He had a pretty efficient night for the Suns, powering in 14 points and adding 11 rebounds in 22 minutes. You can read more about how they did in today's Guardian Sports section. And from the NFL Thursday night action, the Rams beating the Seahawks 26-17. Russell Wilson of the Seahawks injuring his finger. We're watching to see what that will mean for the star quarterback moving forward. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, high pressure north of the area will continue to weaken ahead of an approaching cold front. Meanwhile, prefrontal activity associated with that front is expected to generate unsettled weather across portions of the extreme northwest Bahamas beginning tonight and then spread across the remaining northwest and central islands throughout the holiday weekend. Boaters and residents in the northwest Bahamas should be alert for possible waterspout and or tornado activity. And residents in the extreme northwest Bahamas should exercise caution due to possible localized flooding during heavy and or prolonged rainfall events today and over the next few days. For the Northwest Bahamas today, your forecast calls for variable cloudiness, hot and humid conditions, with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Expect increasing cloudiness with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms mainly across the extreme Northwest Bahamas tonight. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 knots or less, seas 3 feet or less. For the central southeast Bahamas, partly sunny, hot and a bit breezy with a chance of a few passing showers. Mostly fair and warm with possible stray showers tonight. Winds easterly at 15 knots or less, seas 3 to 5 feet. It's about 80 degrees right now in Nassau. Look for highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down around 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
If you like Frito-Lay chips like Ruffles, Doritos, Cheetos Smart Food Popcorn, and Funyuns, you're gonna love getting a chance to win great instant prizes this Saturday, October 9th at Meat Max, Carmichael Road. Join the Frito-Lay Island Wholesale Team between 12 and 3 this Saturday. Make a qualifying purchase of any Frito-Lay's chips or Smart Food Popcorn, and you get a chance to spin and win great instant prizes. And don't forget to put your contact info on your receipt and drop it in the promo box at participating locations for a chance to win bicycles and hoverboards in the grand prize drawing November 27th. Frito-Lay chips, distributed by Island Wholesale.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
People helping people to help themselves. All right, watch this. The credit union of the Bahamas, drop card ain't got nothing on them. There's the plug. People helping people to help themselves. Don't believe me? Join the credit union and watch your money grow like Chef and Needle. Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings. Yeah, go join one. Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make. More what? Stop that. Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings. Let me get my money down. Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make. Join a credit union. Watch your savings grow with higher interest rates. Become a member and purchase some shares. Then ownership is coming your way. They offer local banking members the owner. Personalized service. Come and join the credit union and your choice will be the smartest. Credit unions are the smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Stephen Hanna. Good morning, Stephen Hanna.
Yo, what's up?
Right here. Hope you're doing well.
Holding on.
Very good. Very good. We have a lot to talk about this morning, and you can join the conversations as well. We'll give you the phone numbers to call in just a bit. You can also tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook, facebook.com/MorningBlend969. You can email us, morningblend@nasguard.com, or you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Coming up this morning, we've got more weather and traffic, and as you said, all morning long, we're going to be talking about what's in the news, including more on your reaction to the speech from the throne, and if anything jumped out at you, especially as it relates to the economy and business. We're going to focus on that. It's coming up in Morning Blend Business. So that's coming up. And we've got another drawing of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle, which is going very well. Lots of great prizes have been given out so far, and again, got a lot more to go, so if you're not registered yet, do so. VaxBahamas.com if you are vaccinated or partially vaccinated or vaccinated even somewhere else in the world. You can register and you may win some prizes. You might win today. 2 great prizes going to be given out a little bit later in the show. That's coming up in our 8 o'clock hour. But right now, let's get into what's in the news. And in the news, the F&M, quite a lot of F&M news today. They had a special meeting last night, a council meeting, and they've decided now that they're going to have that convention, that leadership convention, November 27th. November 27th. So last night, former Prime Minister Dr. Jimenez was asked about this, whether he's going to be running for leader again. He told the Tribune that if he doesn't know. That's what he said early in the week. He was maybe not, something like that. So this is what he told our Jasper Ward last night. He was evasive when asked if he intends to run again. He said, quote, "I don't discuss party business at the appropriate time. You all will know what's happening."
It's very nice of him.
Mm-hmm. At the party's council meeting at Holy Trinity Activity Center last night, Minister was asked about the outcome of that meeting and whether he intends to contest the leadership. Now, speaking with reporters last night, F&M Chairman Carl Culmer had a notable shift in tone on the issue when compared to his interview with reporters after the party's last council meeting 2 weeks ago. At that meeting, that was September 22nd, Culmer told reporters that Minister will stay on as leader until a new leader is selected at the convention, adding that Minnis is pledged to work with whomever succeeds him to ensure that the F&M is battle-ready for the next general election. But when asked last night about reports that Minnis may enter the race, the chairman said, quote, "None of those things were discussed tonight, and at the end of the day, persons are free to nominate." Pressed on the possibility of Minnis running again, the F&M chairman said, quote, "That's left entirely up to the council. I don't want to speculate. I do not believe in speculation. I believe at the end of the day, the process should take place, and whatever the outcome is, we go from there." Now, that convention on the 27th of November will be the party's first since 2016. It will take place just 2 months after the F&M suffered that blow at the general election on September 16th. Speaking last night, Culmer said, quote, "We had a regular council meeting. At the end of the day, the last discussion was on convention. It was decided by the council that we will have a one-day convention for the leader that will be on November 27th. We just will get the details at the end of the day. It's a lot at the end of the day there. Culmer said some council members were concerned about how the party was going to go about holding that convention. But he said, quote, at the end of the day, everything went well. We had a good meeting, and the council decided we will have convention for the leader on November 27th. Okay, same things over and over. Asked about the decision to separate the leadership race from other matters to be addressed in the convention, Culmer says, well, there are a number of things that need to be done. We need to have the Constitution updated.
To allow for what?
I don't know. While the decision to hold the convention next month was made at the FNM's Central Council meeting in September, one council member said last night that there was an attempt to hold the convention at another time. The Nassau Guardian understands that some members wanted to push the leadership convention to December. A council member described the move as controversial. Some FNM insiders have suggested that a later convention would likely benefit Minnis. While the FNM will have its November leadership convention, the party intends to have a full convention in February. During a recent interview with Eyewitness News, Minnis, the Killarney MP, was asked whether he would accept or reject a nomination for leader of the party at convention if nominated on the convention floor. Minnis then replied, quote, I can't answer that. I don't know what the party wants. My interest right now is to be involved in building the Free National Movement, ensure that we are a machine that's ready to take over, and a machine with all the infrastructure, all the amenities to take the Bahamas to another level. He interrupted the interview and asked a second time about the convention, and he said, in typical Minnis fashion, quote, allow me to repeat, I follow the Westminster system. In the Westminster system, it's the leader that takes full responsibility, and the party deals with that. He said that everything's possible when asked again about the matter, and added, quote, when I make my decisions, once my conscience is clear and I ask my God for guidance, I am happy. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So that's what they're saying there. Let's get your reaction to this and what's happening. And if you understand this talk about a December convention as opposed to a November convention, because the 27th is almost practically December. But what?
Yeah, but it's probably going to be late December or mid-December.
Like right before or right after Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the Holly Jolly music will help to win other people over.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, it's not for us as regular, everyday Bahamians, like whatever foolishness they're doing. But it's just like, I don't like it. I feel like it's too early.
For what?
It's too no, not for the convention. The convention could happen tomorrow. That would be great. It's too early since the election for people to be like, yeah, they're ready for me now. And I mean that on like everybody, because like 10 seconds ago, we were all on the same page. Everybody was like, okay, the FNM needs a new leader. They slept on it, and now they're like, well, we'll see, which means he's going to run.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's going to run. Like that's the only thing that means, because it's like, are you not going to run? I don't know. Okay, so the answer is yes.
All right, so what if he does? Is it a big deal? That doesn't mean he's going to win. What if he does?
Well, if it doesn't mean he's going to win the election, but it does mean that he's going to win that.
I mean, you're talking about the leadership election. Is that what you're talking about?
No. He's going to win the leadership election in the afternoon.
Why?
It doesn't mean he's going to win the national election.
Why would that mean that necessarily?
Because if he can convince them to change their mind at this point, like,
I mean, as they've said, anyone can nominate anybody. So if you nominate, like, okay, well, let's see what happens. That doesn't mean that the people will.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen?
Again.
They're going to say, for the sake of the party, we should all present
No. Let's not do
brave
that.
front.
You don't know what they're going to say. We don't know who.
I'll send you the memo.
Okay.
Just like that.
We can't speak for them, but we don't know. Is it a big deal if he runs again? Now, the big deal will be if he wins again, because I think many people showed the F&M that they were very unhappy with his leadership.
Yeah, but they
Extremely
also
unhappy.
are banking on the fact that the same way many people showed the PLP, they were tired of the old PLP, but give them 5 or 4 years, and they'll be like, they wasn't so bad.
Oh, okay. So you know what that will mean? That we're going to have fewer people than we saw this election voting next one. So it's going to be down to what, 40%?
Until it's 10%.
Right. Until it's only the people in the councils for these parties voting.
Right.
So if they want to continue down that stupid road, well, they can go right ahead with nonsense.
And they would have no problem because a win is a win.
Oh.
If they win by 1 point, it still counts.
Okay.
Like, they were declared, the past 2 elections were declared victory by, there was concession and victory before official numbers came out for, not just for like 1 or 2 seats, across the board. So it's like, these dudes, it isn't a matter of how much you win or lose by. It is simply just a win is a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not concerned about the actual numbers.
Yeah.
It's, I'm in charge.
Okay. Let's see what you have to say about it, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796.
You know what else, Dwight? This last bit. Like, the thing that upsets me about what you read just now, right, wasn't that at any point in that he was saying, I want to be the leader of the F&M so that the F&M has the best possible chance of leading this country forward. It had nothing to do with the country.
He kind of said that.
No, that's not what I heard.
Well.
Sorry. Maybe he meant that, but that's not what I heard.
Well, he's battle ready.
Battle ready means to win a battle. It doesn't mean to what the ideology is or what the agenda is. Battle ready means I'm ready to fight. So he's literally talking about next election. He's not talking about the next time the F&M is the administration, moving forward. No.
Well, okay.
Like, I'm just saying that's what I heard, because battle ready does not mean leading anything. Battle ready means fighting.
Let's go to the calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight and Stephen.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, Dwight and Stephen, man, I know I've been around for them longer than minutes. Right? I know I've been a supporter of the Free National Movement longer than Dr. Hubert Menace. And for this party that I did vote for just because of Menace, right? If they could continue going down this slippery slope with Menace, I'm trying to impress. I don't know who they are trying to impress, because they clearly out of touch or continue to be out of touch with the electorate. The electorate then made a decision on the 16th of September that we are not going to accept Dr. Menace as a leader. You didn't get a certificate for that. What is the F&M doing? If they can at least leave Dr. Menace there, right?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We don't know nobody's saying anything like that yet, right? All they've said is that people are free to nominate who they want to nominate.
Yeah, but they're leaving the door open.
Yes, but I understand what you're saying. So, in other words, they're just gonna try to pretend that they're unified into this convention, and then when they reach there, then they can get rid of Dr. Menace.
No, I'm not saying that. We just saying that we don't know what the intentions are as yet. We will see.
Well, just watching Dr. Menace over his performance over the last 4.5 years, right? It's scary, right? Because if listening them answer the questions that was asked them, right? It sounds like like when he was in the prime minister's seat, right? You ask him questions, ain't nothing what he said was believable or truthful.
Okay.
Right? So there's nothing coming out of his mouth that he's saying today that people who really how could you believe a man like Dr. Minnis in this short period of time? Maybe 10 years from now, I might believe something he says, because he might then repent. But when it comes to just less than a month, and you want me to believe something that Dr. Minnis is saying today?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's ludicrous.
So you're saying that he said it, that he was only going to lead them to the convention and then go away. And you're saying this is terrible that he would come back and now be waffling
It's
on
too
it.
soon.
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
Okay, that's I get your point. Thank you very much. That's scary. This person says here, I'm not surprised by this almost backtracking. This alleged shift in attitude only further proves that the former prime minister is tone deaf. Whether the F&M Council wants Minnis to lead or not is irrelevant. The electorate have rejected him. This is what matters, and the council should be focused on which potential leader can help them win the next election. That person is not Dr. Minnis. No one should even want to nominate him. He still has not grasped that he is the main reason why his party was decimated at the polls. Yeah, that is well said there, definitely. Continue to call in, 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Now, others... Sorry?
I say, I'll tell you something, Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes through and he gets the nomination and he wins the leadership, in 5 years, he'll be prime minister again.
No, stop it. Stop. We don't have to... He can't say those things. Yes, there are patterns that are emerging, but we don't know. We don't know.
He can't say those things.
Let's not get that far. That's getting.
I want you to know.
Getting really ahead of ourselves.
In the past, it's been a month since election. In the month since election, both sides have showed us their true colors. And no, I dare say the three sides have shown us their true colors: the PLP, the F&M, and the Bahamian electorate. It's only a matter of time.
Oh, dear. Okay. I want to get to what others in the F&M are saying, what they were saying before this meeting yesterday, and what's emerging. There's going to be a big fight on November 27th. That is clear. It's going to be, yeah, it will. But let's take this call, and then we'll get to that in a bit. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning to you. How are you doing this morning?
Doing well. Good morning.
If the F&M Council didn't listen to the people in September the 16th, they have another thing coming, right? That means the prime minister sitting now is going to be the next prime minister for the next 10 years. Because once humans reject you, that means you're fired. They don't want you no longer. That means you didn't make sense of the
That does not mean that at all.
Since when?
But, right, what do you think
If Perry Christie had run this election, he would have won a seat.
You think so, Dwight?
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
Oh, yes.
But Perry Christie won after losing before.
He would have won his seat.
Right, you think so?
Oh, my God.
I mean, you think Dr. Minnis have the heart to get nominated? You think somebody in the F&M Council have the heart to nominate him?
Yeah, because they're crazy.
I'm asking.
Yes,
overwhelmingly.
We do. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That means the country is not going in the right direction.
Oh, we've known that.
In any direction.
We've known that for a long time. We're spinning. We're spinning and going down.
You think we're spinning.
All right, y'all have a
Spinning
good morning.
movement.
Oh, it's just sitting there.
We just
Sitting in the mud. Oh, dear. Thanks, caller.
Only thing we doing is turning our head left and right, left and right. We ain't going nowhere.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's disturbing. Very
But
disturbing.
Dwight, every single time, it's like as many new days and as it's about the future as it is, we always end up in the same position. First day out the gate, get rid of all these people. Tell them people pack up their stuff and go home. That's across the board. Everybody say, stop everything. We got to double check it, which is understandable because they know the last time, right before everything was over, it's like push all these things through. So it's like both sides do the exact same thing. So the country never moves forward. Everybody used the word progressive, but nobody is progressing anywhere. And so it's like, I can only see right now in this moment of beginning and weakness, if we as the Bahamian people don't say, get rid of Minnis, as well as look at the PLP and say, y'all better be different than the PLP was and how the F&M was, or we getting rid of all these new faces we'll never be seen again in 6 years. If we don't do that now, we could have a rough and long 5 years. Because we could have an ineffectual opposition that will win the election in 5 years. And then for the 5 years that we here, we'll have people who do whatever they want because they do not fear us until the election is called.
Yes. All right. I want you to listen to what folks were saying before that meeting. Take a listen to this report from our Jasmine Brown.
Brutally honest comments from a former minister in the Minnis administration came hours before the party held a council meeting.
Many people would want to be a fly on the wall at tonight's council meeting and all F&M council meetings as we deliberate the way forward. But these are internal matters. I suspect that it will be a lively meeting, and it is my hope, it is my belief that the Free National Movement will understand what needs to be done in order to regain the trust and support of the general public in order to win back the government.
When it comes to his assessment of what went wrong for the F&M at the polls last month, Dr. Sands was not short on words.
But right now we have a tremendous amount of work to do. You know, clearly things that we did not do well that resulted in either a number of our supporters staying home or persons that may have voted for the F&M previously voting for the Progressive Liberal Party. And the first thing you have to do is you got to claim it. You've got to acknowledge your missteps or your mistakes. And once you claim them, then you better atone and you better fix whatever problems. I believe that we have been dismissive of the press as an organization, some more than others.
And he did not stop there, as he said the dismissive and almost contemptuous attitude was not a good look for the party. He added there were also a lot of unfulfilled promises without proper and transparent explanations. When it comes to how the party was led, Sands said on Guardian Radio earlier this week that it was very clear that the former F&M government was not a popular administration. He said the government had a very unpopular leader and there was a tremendous amount of pushback on the ground as people complained during their campaigning. He also said the former administration was too much like former U.S. President Donald Trump. When asked about Dr. Minnis,
it cannot be business as usual.
Dr. Sands was also asked if he has plans on running for the leadership of the Free National Movement, but did not say whether he will present himself at the party's November convention.
When I will make that decision, at what point I'll throw my name in the hat, that's the best kept secret in the Bahamas. So let's see how this all plays out.
Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess if you declare too early, you get darts thrown at you, and everybody comes at you. Is that what it is? You've got to wait till the last minute. But the campaigning goes on, and if
the reason is because you gotta check out and see who else is trying to run, and so
Okay. We'll get to your text messages in just a bit. Let's take some more of your calls. What do you make of what's happening here? Again, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. You can tweet us, Facebook us, and text us. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning to you, Dwight, and good morning to you, Stephen, Seattle, and Johnson.
Good morning.
Yes, Dwight and Stephen, I'm never impressed by the lyrical gymnastic or the linguistic contortionism that comes from our leadership. There's a definition that came into the public domain sometime around Jimmy Carter time. It's called a crisis of confidence. And it's a situation where people have stopped believing that something or someone is good. And I think the F&M leadership, not just through Minnis, but by their submission to Minnis over the last 4.5 years, have created a situation where the Bahamian people have begun to experience a crisis of confidence in the leadership of the FNM to serve its purpose. And that goes back for 9 years, because we saw what happened with the attempt to remove Minnis. And during the last 4.5 years, he authenticated what was been said about him and his behavior. If you see what he's done then and see what he's doing now, and his first moving towards the media, and now his contemptuous linguistic contortionism of the language in in trying to make a decision. He has not even recognized the fact that he has resigned. He says accept responsibility. The Westminster system says that you resign. He has not come out and says, I hereby resign effective on the date of convention or anything of that sort. Mm-hmm. He shows no contrite for what has been done. But here's the problem with the FNM is doing. The FNM, in continuing with Dr. Minnis, or failure to define its new identity, will simply be setting up the possibility that leadership from outside the two major political parties who can define where we are today and where we should be tomorrow to rise up. And I know you guys talk about the how you say that we repeat the same thing. What we fail to recognize, though, is that over the last 13 years, the dynamics, the demographics of the Bahamian voters has drastically and gradually and drastically changed to one where even today, as much as 2/3 of those individuals doesn't know the Federals before 73, and they are looking for people to speak their language and define the future. The problem is that we have given them continuously the lesser of two evils. And so we have never yet had a party that's given them something to vote for. You even had a third party say, we'll be less worse than the other two. Mm-hmm. And so as soon as we begin to have that conversation as we move more towards this financial constraint that we put on the economy, and those individuals will be looking to be birthed into a new reality of the Bahamas, I think you'll begin to see a change in the demographics.
All right, thank you very much. You know, I think people need to be very vocal as well, right? So if you are not pleased, if you cannot stand the idea of Minnis being the leader of the FNM again, just say it as frequently and as often as you can to everyone and to anyone you know. Right? They need to know that this is not going to be acceptable and that nobody's interested in hearing him speak for 5 years.
That's part of the issue, Dwight, but part of the issue is also the arrogance of these parties and the echo chamber of the parties. Because me saying, guys, this is a bad idea, to them, it's like, oh, Stephen is a hater.
Yeah, well, not just you. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying, but like, there were tons of people who were like, oh, I could never see Brea being the prime minister. And now he is. And like he is because once you get in a certain position, it's just trends and momentum that moves you.
Yeah. The difference is, though, and they were quick to say it before, the PLP used to say, well, he wasn't the leader then. But this person was the leader, and we saw what happened. Yeah. And we saw how he treated, as Dr. Sand says, the media, the way he talked to all of us, the weird things that only he understood, right? And already, when we're going to get to that in a few minutes, his nonsense that he said about the speech from the throne and how it was a rehash. Well, okay, no one said your ideas were bad, Dr. Minnis. We're very disappointed in the way that you implemented or did not implement them. That's the problem. So, yeah, let's go back to those ideas. We wanted them. That's why many people voted for you. But you did nothing and called an early election in the middle of a pandemic. So what are we to make of you?
There's always going to be an excuse for it. And the same way...
Well, let's give the people the benefit of the doubt. That they will... The Bahamian people will continue to speak out about it. We're not
the Bahamian people are not the people I'm concerned about.
Mm-hmm. But they got to listen,
It's the parties... The parties are a problem.
Well, then
those parties and their internal council are not... Those people... I do not consider them to be Bahamians because they are FNM and POP first, then they are Bahamians. Mm-hmm. Right? And so they do not care about what direction the country goes in unless it's under them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that is the problem. And so it's like, those are the people. Now, if the listeners know somebody who is a part of these executive councils personally, I suggest take that person out to lunch and berate them until they understand. But just generally speaking, the people who call into the show, the people who listen to the show, most of them have enough sense to be like, I don't like this. Mm-hmm. This doesn't make sense. We feel like this is the same story. And depending on how old you are, it's the same story from a different point. So like for me, this is the same story from the mid-90s. For somebody older than me, it's like, oh, this how it been from the 60s Whereas like you think it's something good, and then it's like when you get in it, it's like a couple people winning, but not everybody winning.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it's like we need to change the whole structure of everything. And the problem is, me and you as individuals and generally the Bahamian public doesn't have that authority to do that. So we need to find the 4 people who control in the country and have a conversation with them directly.
No. All right. We can always remind them of what happened in 77 when the FNM was no longer the official opposition and became a regular old third party. That could happen again.
You mean the story that they never want to talk about?
They don't like that. But it could happen again. Very easily. Let's go back to the phone lines, though. We've got a lot of calls coming in. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Glenn. As we ponder and wonder how we get a leopard to actually change the spots, well, it's kind of next to impossible. But how do we get? Sorry.
No, we didn't say anything.
No, we're listening.
Yeah, no. How do we get the council and the and Mr. Minister realize that the stories about this frog and obviously the scorpion who was at the edge of the river, and the scorpion, he couldn't swim, but he wanted to catch a right on the back of the frog. So here we have the council being the frog and Mr. Minister being the scorpion, and across the end of the river is the Bahamas again. So the scorpion says, "Look, man, if you let me get on, give me a ride over, then we can have peace in the paradise." But the frog said, "But then, you are a scorpion, you can sting me, and then we both can drown." Man, the scorpion said, "You expect me to be stupid like that? Let me get a ride over." So midway across, what the scorpion did? He bit the frog. They both drowned. Now, if you all elect Mr. Minister again to run and represent you all, well, Mr. Davis has another term because he's going to bite that frog called the FNM. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Don't bite, but yes.
Well, you know what he means. But stranger things have happened, though, so you can't say that for sure. Right?
Listen, Dwight, I am surprised at your level of optimism.
Well, that's all I have left. That's all I have left.
Well, that is the one thing I do not have. I do not have optimism. I want to be proven wrong because I have zero faith in the PLP and the FNM. I want them to prove me wrong. That's what I want. Make me shame. Make me come back here in 2 months or 2 years or 5 years and eat my words and say, "Oh, you know what, guys? I was wrong about you."
Yeah.
I have zero faith in you guys. You guys have no vision and no plan. Prove me wrong.
Yep. Let's take another call. Caller, good morning. You're on Morning Blend. Are you there? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Let's read some of these text messages. Why are we so deep into the FNM party business? Because they might become the government of the Bahamas one day again. That's why.
Right.
Yeah. What do you mean? Anyway, let's continue reading. I think people are afraid because we know with the 5-year pattern that it doesn't matter who is the leader of the FNM. They have a better chance than 70%, better than 70% chance to be the next government. This means that the third parties are a dismal failure in attracting the interest of the Bahamian voters. That's the problem.
Nope, that's not what that means. That means that you want to bet on the sure thing. That's what it is. People are afraid to try something brand new. Like, you ever been to a restaurant and look at the menu and say,
it's part of the problem, though, Stephen.
I've always wanted the lobster macaroni, but I know I like the roti, so I'm going to get the roti. People do that all the time.
Yeah, but they also have a problem like that. They do have issues as well.
I'm not saying they don't have issues, but I'm saying the issues is not the main reason why no third party has progressed.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the main thing is...
Maybe not for you, but it's a big issue for some people. Big leadership issues, big leadership issues, big membership issues. People are concerned.
Every issue that they have, the two main parties also have.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that they don't have issues. I'm not even suggesting that they're offering something good. I'm saying the reason third parties haven't succeeded was not because they are failing to be a party. It's because people are afraid to try something different. And
that's part of the issue too. They're not really that different. They are saying the same things. And nobody's really standing out from the pack. And then that is causing a problem. What is your identity? Who are you really? And you just were with that party, now you're with this one, and you merged with this party. So all of you all seem the same with questionable leadership. And anyway, let's more messages here. Someone says, Menace's motto is 2 terms. He really wants that prime ministerial pension badly, despite the fact that there was plenty gnashing of teeth during his tenure. Oh, is that what it is? The people rejected Christie, and yet he returned 5 years later, so nothing is over till it's over.
Exactly.
Yeah. This one says here, Dwight, in December, Dr. Minnis will have time to buy votes with hams and turkeys. Okay. And they go on to say that if the FNM wants to remain in the political wilderness, then tell them to keep Dr. Minnis on as leader. Obviously, the council and parliamentary caucus are out of touch with the Bahamian electorate, and the Bahamian people will show them that. By the way, I'm an over 45-year-old Bahamian and have only ever voted FNM, except in the September 16th, 2021 election. Okay.
This election.
So
this election.
Yeah. This person says, Dwight and Stephen, did not Perry and Brave lose elections before? Did they resign and retire from frontline politics? Loser Brave and 4 seats at the previous election is now our PM. So what's the difference?
Right. I don't... What... Is that person...
Well, they're saying so Minnis could come back and they'd be happy. That's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out if they want that.
Yeah, sounds like it. What's the big deal? Okay, I'm another supporter who refused to vote, which I've been doing since 1987, just because of Minnis. Minnis is a megalomaniac who is more attracted to being leader than to actually governing. He's an abject failure as a leader, and if the party keeps him, they deserve to implode and be left in the wilderness. My hope is that his parliamentary colleagues have a vote of no confidence as soon as possible and have him removed as leader of the opposition. He has to be rejected at every turn. Wow. This one says, I agree with Stephen. The tasks needed to ensure a second-term victory will not be done, and so whoever is leader of opposition will be the next prime minister. You can't go there. I mean, it's a little, right? It's quite possible based on what we've been doing, what we've been seeing, right? But, I mean, you'd take real bets on it right now. You're like, yeah, I go for it. Okay.
I definitely would.
Wow. Okay. This one says, former Prime Ministers Ingram and Christie were slaughtered at the polls. Both came back and won. Oh, God. See, this is the same foolishness right here. Okay. In 1 year, the electorate will be screaming, Brave gotta go. In 2 years...
They're screaming it now, every time the power cut off.
In 2 years, send Brave to the... Oh, no, I'm not going to read that part. You're wrong for that part there. Texter. And the other one here, in 5, any leader the FNM sends forward, including Minnis, will be hailed as a savior. Well, then it's all our fault then. I got to tell you that. Something is wrong with the Bahamian people, if that's the case.
Only in the sense that we produce both parties, and we produce the people in the parties who are like, as long as I get mine, everything cool. Like, that is what's wrong with us as a country. Like, we all be out here claiming Bahamian, but what we really mean is the Bahamians I like. And that is the real problem, because it's like, if you are okay with FNM starving this 5 years, and if you was okay with PLP starving the past 5 years, then you ain't really a Bahamian.
Well, let's take this call, and then we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
Dwight and Stewart, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
listen to me, man. My first vote was 1982. And I voted for Vernon Simonet down in Inago. The quality in men and women we had back then compared to the quality in men and women when it comes to education, I'm supposed to be educated, right? It's like we walking backwards. These people are supposed to be educated. And who cares what color the horse is when you're riding it, right? You was the one who's supposed to be telling the horse where to go. How would it be that everybody who we put and today, right? We have people who educated. How can it be? We keep twisting it is young people. The majority of them is young people. The majority of them is new people. But we say we getting the same results. How was that even possible? At least we're supposed to be educated people. How long have I been listening?
Well, desperation, I suspect, is playing a big part of that. And then people don't feel they have to really do all that well, right? They don't have to be the best when you get in there. Just
Bro,
many things.
The best position to be in to win the next election is opposition.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do, no matter what, if it was a good idea, if it was all right idea, as long as it's not a natural disaster, all you have to do is say, they could have done better. They made a misstep.
I don't even know if you have to say anything. Just wear the T-shirts and walk. I have your face on a poster, and bam! Don't run in St. Anne's and don't run in Killarney, and you're gonna be okay. Some of those Grand Bahama ones. That's all. You'll be fine. It's very sad. Very, very, very sad. Boy. All right, let's take the break. When we come back, we'll get into more of this. And on this Friday morning, this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Music, man. This is not a golden rule. Take it and don't be no fool. Check this. You'll never see a dog barking at a parked car. You'll never see him barking if the car ain't moving. You'll never see people talking about you if you're going nowhere. But when you're trying to excel yourself, they got your name everywhere. Because dog don't bark at parker, no way. Come on. The only time they can start barking is when the car start moving.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
AP News. Good morning, I'm Ed Donahue. Witnesses report several casualties from a powerful explosion in a mosque in northern Afghanistan. It happened during the weekly Friday prayer service. The Taliban leadership has been grappling with a growing threat from the local Islamic State group affiliate. The Senate voted to extend the debt limit.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 48. The motion to concur with the amendment is agreed to.
The bill that is expected to be approved in the House as well would extend the government's authority to borrow into December. It temporarily averts an unprecedented U.S. default. The party line Democratic vote was 50-48. Kentucky Republican Rand Paul says the country is not as bad off as you'd think.
The poorest people in our country actually are equivalent to the middle class in most countries. We are a huge success, but we're a country misguided and led astray by media that aren't honest.
Republicans and Democrats are keeping up their bitter battling over President Biden's top domestic priorities, a bipartisan infrastructure bill. Two journalists are recipients of this year's Nobel Peace Prize. Maria Ressa of the Philippines and Dmitry Muratov from Russia are being honored for their fight for freedom of expression in countries where media outlets have faced persistent attacks. Barrett Reese Anderson with the Nobel Committee pointed out Ressa's run-ins with Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte.
Rappler has focused critical attention to the Duterte regime's controversial, murderous anti-drug campaign.
Muratov was one of the founders of the independent Russian newspaper Novaya Gazeta. Tampa Bay Rays outfielder Randy Arozarena became the first player to hit a home run and steal home in a postseason game, leading the Rays to a 5-0 victory over the Boston Red Sox in their American League Division Series Game 1. This is AP News. The three-time major winner is at Indian Wells in California, and he decided to air out some smelly tennis shoes by placing them under his car.
When I got back to the car in the morning, the shoes were gone.
But attached to those shoes on the laces is Murray's wedding ring. His wife, as you'd expect, was not happy. Murray made a plea to bring him back the ring. He gave an update on Instagram.
Would you believe it? They still absolutely stink, but the shoes are back. The wedding ring is back, and I'm back in the good books. Let's go!
The ring and the shoes are back, just in time for Murray's first-round match. Giant panda twins born at Tokyo's Ueno Zoo in June got their names today. Lele for the female cub and Zhao Zhao for the brother. They were chosen from hundreds of thousands of suggestions sent in from fans around Japan. Both now weigh about 13 pounds. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Time for your first look at traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Here's what we're seeing in your real-time traffic. We've got heavy traffic on Mile Butler Highway from Fire Trail all the way up to Tawny-Williams-Darling Highway. That's the northbound lanes, and it's going to be backed up along Fire Trail as well for you this morning. Glasson Road looking a little bit better for you, but still heavy traffic in the northbound lane to JFK Drive, about midway between Fire Trail and JFK Drive. Blue Hill Road also busy, north of Soldier Road mainly. In the northbound lanes, heading to the roundabout with Independence Drive. Further south, near the junction with Carmichael Road as well. Again, that's mainly northbound for you this morning. And elsewhere, we are seeing pockets at some of the major intersections like Robinson and East-West Highway, and Robinson and Soldier Road, Prince Charles and Beatrice Avenue and Charles Saunders Highway. Some building traffic on Fox Hill Road this morning. That's what we're looking at. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined. And it's time for another check of your weather for this morning. Could be a wet holiday weekend in store. We've got high pressure north of the area that will continue to weaken ahead of an approaching cold front, but prefrontal activity associated with that front expected to generate unsettled weather across portions of the extreme northwest Bahamas beginning tonight and then spread across the remaining northwest and central islands throughout the weekend. So for today, for the northwest Bahamas, look for variable cloudiness, hot and breezy conditions, humid with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Expected increasing cloudiness with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas tonight. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. For the central southeast Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny, hot, and a bit breezy with a chance of a few passing showers today. Mostly fair and warm with possible stray showers tonight. Temperature-wise, look for highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. Again, we're expecting localized flooding in heavy or prolonged rainfall events today, especially in the extreme northwest Bahamas. In your extended outlook for your weekend, prefrontal activity coupled with streaming tropical moisture and troughing near the southeast Bahamas will support unstable conditions and the elevated risk for severe weather and localized flooding across the area throughout the weekend. So for Saturday, tomorrow, mostly cloudy to occasionally overcast with numerous showers and thunderstorms. In the northwestern islands, variable cloudiness with a few scattered showers and the chance of thunderstorms elsewhere. Sunday, variable cloudiness again, warm conditions, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Showers again may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times, especially in the extreme northwest Bahamas. In the tropics, we've got a low pressure area about 100 miles off the coast of South Carolina. It's producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms well to the east of its center. The system still has a low chance, about 30% chance now, for tropical cyclone formation through the next 5 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
To those affected by a hurricane, The damage is far greater than the eye can see. It's the pain of experiencing damage to your home. But there are people right here that can help. We're CG Atlantic General. We're your neighbors. We live here and work here too. We're always ready to answer calls and to process your claims as quickly as possible. So when a storm turns your life upside down, we're here to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Contact a CG Atlantic General broker today.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy up to 150 megabits per second plus 157 TV channels and unlimited home phone minutes for only $99.99.
Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network. Conditions apply.
Unlock your home potential with a home equity loan from RBC and let your greatest asset fund your home improvement and personal projects. Switch your mortgage to RBC today and experience the difference with no management fees, cash back on closing costs, and step-by-step guidance from our team of expert mobile mortgage finance specialists. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/equity loan. Reimagine new ways to bank better with RBC.
While it's encouraging that the national COVID-19 vaccine rollout is going successfully, it's not the only precaution to reduce the spread of the virus in our communities. It's important to continue practicing safety protocols because it is our social responsibility to protect ourselves and to protect others.
Wash your hands for a friend with a weaker immune system.
Only read and share information from trusted sources to avoid unnecessary panic.
I'm gonna need y'all to avoid these large crowds. You could have loved ones at home who have underlying health conditions. Do it.
Practicing safety protocols is an act of brotherly and sisterly love.
The life you save may just be yours as well as your neighbor.
We will win.
We will win.
This message is brought to you by the PAHO WHO Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
What happened to you? You look like you lost your paycheck.
Man, I just realized I got scammed out of a bunch of money. They said I won this contest and just needed me to send them some money so I could collect. I mean, to expedite something. Or was it to smooth the process?
Man, you're smarter than that. Protect yourself against scams and fraud by following these steps. If you know you didn't enter a competition, you can't win. Never pay to receive a cash prize. If you're being asked, you're being scammed. Check trusted internet sites for verification of information given to you. Do not give your banking details to people you don't know. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Monitor your bank account regularly for any questionable transactions. Get more information at getmoneysmartbahamas.com.
Breakfast just got better at Wendy's. Introducing the Breakfast Biggie Bag. Enjoy a double sausage muffin with 2 square sausage patties, a freshly cracked egg, and cheese served on a toasted English muffin, a medium waffle fries, and an orange juice for only $5.25, VAT inclusive. Add an apple pie for just $1 more.
Say what?
At Wendy's, better breakfast is all day. Offers valid in participating locations. Wendy's, different inside and out.
Have you heard about the COVID vaccine raffle? If you are vaccinated against COVID-19, you can enter to win amazing prizes like food store gift certificates, hotel stays, beach excursions, and so much more. Even if you are previously vaccinated, you can still enter to win. The COVID vaccine is free, safe, and protects you from severe COVID-19 infections. Don't delay. Get vaccinated today and enter to win. Visit www.paxbahamas.com to register.
People helping people to help themselves. All right, watch this. The credit union of the Bahamas, drop card ain't got nothing on them. There's the plug. People helping people to help themselves. Don't believe me? Join the credit union and watch your money grow like Chef and Needle. Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings. Yeah, go join one. Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make. More what? Stop that. Credit unions are smarter choice. higher rates on your savings. Let me get my money down. Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make. Join a credit union. Watch your savings grow with higher interest rates. Become a member and purchase some shares. Then ownership is coming your way. They offer local banking members the owner. Personalized service. Come and join the credit union and your choice will be the smartest. Credit unions are the smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Had no connection, no faith or direction, no. Searching and searching for someone to save my soul. I was swept up in a wave, swept up in a wave. Then I heard you say my name, yeah. Lost, I was lost till you loved me. Now I'm found, yeah, you took me to a place, it was safe, it was sound. Lost, I was lost, now I'm found.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. We are getting a reaction to what's in the news, talking about the FNM and their leadership convention set for November 27th and what we're expecting and what we'd like to see and what we would not like to see come out of that in just over a month. And you can continue to call us 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. We've got a lot of your text messages to get to. Is that person still on hold there? Good morning, caller. Are you still there?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Great to have you with us.
Morning, Dwight, and good morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
My call is a lot of Bahamians are disgruntled about the fact that every 5 years we change, we're back and forth with the government. I don't see a problem with that, especially if we have ineffective members of parliament. Do they realize that should we re-elect them, they pick up a pension because of 2 consecutive terms? So I don't mind if they send them packing after 5 years, especially if they're ineffective.
Yeah, but people get rid of the good ones as well because they...
Yeah, well, probably the good ones will influence the bad ones the next time.
That never happens.
We'll then send all of them home. The innocent will suffer for the guilty.
All right, we could continue to do that, or we could change the system. I keep saying this. This system will only continue to see those type swings because we are not voting for the individuals. We're voting for the party. You're voting for who's the leader. And if we had a system where we were a Republican, you got to vote for your leader separately, and your member of parliament was there because of merit, because you feel they're the best, and not because that will influence who becomes the prime minister, that could see some major changes in our behavior and in their behavior.
And their behavior more than ours.
Well, both.
So until that happens...
No, let's make that happen. We got to push for that. That needs to happen in the next 5 years. We need to move to that system. This isn't working. Yeah, it worked for the UK. It works beautifully for them. Wonderful. It ain't working for us. And we need to change this quickly. How long can we continue doing this? Every time the new government gets in, they have to review everything and start from scratch. And then they get started, and then we get frustrated at how long it's taking, and we vote them out, and then we put in the other people who go back over what they did and bring up back these plans from 10 years ago and start that over again. The same faces that you thought were dead, they're back and they're running things, and then they get voted out because they... How long can we continue to do this?
Okay, but Dwight, what I'm saying is, I'm sure they're aware of this method as well, where, if we're not productive, we're going to be gone.
They don't care. They like it.
Common sense should tell them, you and Stephen, you're both members of parliament. You all know you all ain't doing nothing except sitting there knocking on the desk all day. You think for the next 4 years, you're all going to say, okay, you know what? We ought to hear someone because guess what? We ain't doing nothing. Probably y'all will pull up your socks and say, listen, these people ain't playing. These people ain't playing. We're going to be gone in short order if we don't start hitting the road and doing something in this country.
Obviously, it doesn't do anything to them.
Everything they could grab.
Well, I'd rather them go on, Dwight, than to be
But they come back in 5 years.
No, but that's okay. They could come back in 5 years because in order for you to be eligible for a member of parliament pension, you have to be there for 2 consecutive years. So come back in the next 5 years. You still ain't picking up a pension.
Is that true?
Okay, whether it's true or not, the country isn't going anywhere with that, right? So we prevent them, if that is the case, prevent them from getting the pension, but we are stagnant and just barely treading water. So that's fine. Is that fine?
Also, I'm not entirely certain if it's consecutive anymore.
I don't know, but that's a terrible way to look at this. Let's take this call really quickly. We don't have much time. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Good morning. Can you make it snappy? Hi.
Good morning. I might just want to make a quick comment. Every time we speak about our government, we like to talk about this Westminster system, right? Like Dr. Menace say, the Westminster system, he take responsibility, right? No, in our Constitution would you find the word Westminster, okay? We always run into this word as a crutch, all right? Our country and our parliament is sovereign. They could pass any law they want to govern our country, including fixed election day. It has nothing to do with Westminster system. We have a sovereign parliament. Our Constitution makes the parliament sovereign. They could pass laws and privileges and powers to give parliamentarians, okay? So we have to stop using Westminster as a crutch. Dr. Menace and the PLP and the F and these major political parties, the way how their party structures are set up, it even ain't democratic. Because if you're a member of the party, only a handful of people is vote for the leadership. That's why they always have this control over the party, the person who end up becoming the leader.
Yeah,
because
very
he
true.
appoints the councillors and this one and that one. If he ain't like you, he can push you out the party. But if everybody in those parties who financial had the opportunity to vote for the leadership, you'd probably be getting different leaders from these major parties.
Absolutely. Thank you, caller. We got to go to the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Now I'm found, now I'm found, now I'm found. Yeah, you took me to a place, it was safe, it was sound. Lost, I was lost, now I'm found. Lost, I was lost, till you love me. Now I'm found, now I'm found, now I'm found. Yeah, you took me to a place, it was safe, it was sound. Lost, I was lost, now I'm found.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
8th, 2021, and you're listening to the Guardian News Network Morning Report.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:22, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. We've got a high pressure ridge just north of the area that will continue to weaken ahead of an approaching cold front. Will it get here? Meanwhile, pre-frontal activity associated with the front is expected to generate unsettled weather across portions of the extreme northwest Bahamas beginning tonight and then spread across the remaining northwest and central Bahamas throughout the weekend. We're expecting that some of these storms could be heavy, and rainfall could result in localized flooding, so keep that in mind throughout the weekend. For the northwest Bahamas today, we're looking at variable cloudiness, hot and humid conditions with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Expect increasing cloudiness and widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas tonight. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny, hot and a bit breezy with a few passing showers today. Mostly fair and warm with possible stray showers tonight. Temperature-wise, look for highs getting up to 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but the overnight lows are going to get down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, prefrontal activity coupled with streaming tropical moisture and troughing near the southeast Bahamas will support unstable conditions and the elevated risk for severe weather and localized flooding across the area throughout the weekend. So for tomorrow, Saturday, mostly cloudy to occasionally overcast with numerous showers and thunderstorms. In the northwest Bahamas, variable cloudiness with a few scattered showers and the chance of thunderstorms elsewhere. Sunday, heading into the National Heroes holiday on Monday, look for variable cloudiness, warm conditions, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas. In the tropics, that system that was near us is now near South Carolina, about 100 miles off the coast there. It's producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms well to the east of its center of circulation. Still has a low chance, though, about 30% chance for tropical cyclone formation through the next 5 days. That's your morning blend weather check. Brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. What's first for you comes first for us. And another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. We've got heavy traffic on Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Backed up quite a bit if you're heading towards the roundabout with Milo Butler Highway. Keep that in mind. Backed up almost to Bahamas Games Boulevard. So you definitely want to find a different route. Maybe JFK Drive, Thompson Boulevard, University Drive. That might be a better way for you to get if you're heading west, especially. Milo Butler Highway looking better, so we suspect there might be a traffic cop there. That's what's going on. Perhaps, because it's definitely shifted the traffic quite a bit. And Gladstone Road still busy, very busy for you, just north of Fire Trail up to JFK Drive this morning. Elsewhere, we've got Blue Hill Road. Heavy traffic northbound, north of Soldier Road especially, but northbound, especially between St. Vincent and Carmichael, you'll be seeing some heavy traffic there as well. And Independence Drive is backed up, way backed up westbound to that roundabout with Blue Hill Road. We're also seeing building traffic on Carmichael, especially eastbound, and at some of the major intersections in eastern New Providence, so Wolf, Bernard, Soldier, and Village, and East West Highway and Marathon Road, Prince Charles Drive, Robinson. That area there, you'll be seeing lots of traffic at those intersections. Prince Charles and Foxhill, Prince Charles and Beatrice, Prince Charles, Robinson, Soldier, and Robinson, East-West Highway and Marathon. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, Banking Reimagined. And we are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. We are talking about what's in the news, talking about the FNM leadership race, which is set to get into high gear in the next few weeks as we head to their leadership convention for November 27th. We want to get through your messages and then move on to more reaction to the speech from the throne, the opening of Parliament on Wednesday. All right, so we got a lot of messages. Somebody says here, Dwight, the FNM Council will vote Minnis out on the 27th of November if he nominates and he knows that. What? Okay, anyway. Michael Pintard, working hard with Pintard. Okay. There's a lot of that is jumbled up, but sure, guess we get the picture there. Okay. Another person here. Dr. Minnis will not win the next election. He's arrogant. He looks out for only the rich. The PLP will not have to do much campaigning if they do the work that the people like them to do. Well, that's always the challenge, right? People might have said the same thing about the F&M within a few weeks of them winning. I think people were saying that. And yet here we are. This one says here, Dwight, you seem to have forgotten the one leader before Christie got the PLP spanked. Christie is running around now like Minnis, and the F&M spanking is some type of validation. We need to see how many contracts these stalwart counselors get. I've forgotten anything? I don't know. Okay. Dr. Minnis needs to move on from the F&M. It's obvious the people voted him out. He's done his job, but it was not good for the country. Bahamians aren't putting up with leaders who continue to make promises, but they can't deliver them. Okay. While Minnis deserves all the smoke he is getting and more, to be fair, the real problem is campaign finance reform. No matter who we put in the House, they are obligated to focus on that faction and maybe fraction. The people that bankroll the party, I suspect it's why Minnis switched up when he got in the power and said next time for the poor. Okay.
I mean, like, those words.
Are you finished?
That was the question.
What?
That was the question.
Okay.
No, I'm saying, like, is that a quote? Did he say, because I've heard that somebody said it before.
About the...
Next time for the poor.
Oh, yeah, well, he said something to that effect.
Okay. Well, it's paraphrasing.
Yeah, he did say something to that effect.
No, I'm just saying, because, like, if he said something like that, it's like, that's wild.
Yeah, he did.
And he still has his seat. Okay, great. Cool.
Yeah, man. Third parties are seen as risky in the minds of Bahamians. That's text. This one says here, Dwight, what you thought? The whole lot of them have one word on their mind, pension. That's all what all the parading up and down is about. Do you see the state of the country? Many U.S. universities would run circles around this circus we call government. Many U.S. universities? Oh, okay. In terms of... Anyway. Dwight and Stephen, as an over 50 lifelong F&M, I did not vote for the F&M this time because of Dr. Minnis. If they keep him, then they will be out for 10 years guaranteed. The difference between Christie and Ingram is that they both went their full term. There was no voter apathy, and they both had some legacy to join themselves to. Minnis' legacy is one of arrogance and incompetence. They both went their full term.
How short are people's memories?
They both went their full term. What does that mean?
No, they mean that both of them went to full 5 years. But I'm saying, like, how short are people's memories?
Minnis could have done that. He prevented himself from doing that. What's the point? I don't understand.
Yeah, but then my thing is, like, everybody suddenly is like, Minnis is the most arrogant. But y'all remember when Ingram was in charge? Like, the stuff he used to say to journalists when they asked him questions?
It was a little different.
It was a little different because everybody thought it was, cool.
No, not really. No, it wasn't that, but it was different.
How was it
wasn't
different?
The same. I mean, you got answers in a snarky way. We weren't getting answers at all from Minnis, right? You were just getting insulted and weird parables and weird...
Right, because he was saying weird stuff. I agree. But then let's not also forget, during the Perry Christie administration, there were times where the PLP stopped talking to the media altogether.
No, there weren't many times like that.
No, Dwight, I'm just saying.
Maybe certain individuals, but for the most part...
My only reason I'm bringing it up is because I don't want the public to put in their mind only the last thing and don't remember that all of these guys are horrible.
They have all had major flaws. I don't know why you try to rephrase it. Well,
They're
because things have been different.
Nothing is the same, of course.
Yes,
right?
but
Because in 2008 we had a financial crisis, so whoever was in charge then would have had a different load to bear. Then we had hurricanes during another administration, so that's a different load to bear. And then we have COVID, this last administration, that's a different load to bear. I understand that things are different, but let's not pretend as though communication between the people who supposedly run the country and the country has always been strained.
Yeah.
That reporters have always said, hey, so what is happening with this? And the leader of the country has looked them in the eye and said, you will know when it's time for you to know. That has always happened, at least for the past 20 years in Stephen's experience, right? From my memory, my short recollection.
Some have said that, Stephen, with certain things, but one has said it with everything, and that's been the difference. That's been the difference.
All I'm asking is that people, there were, sure.
All right, but let's not linger on this long. He did it all the time.
Remember that all of them do it.
They all do it, but he did it every time, and that's the problem.
I want somebody who won't do it ever. I want somebody to talk to us and tell us what's going on. Right. What I don't want is somebody to be like, this person was only half bad. They only punched me with a open fist. They never punched me with a closed fist. Okay. I don't want that.
All right, we got a lot of messages here. Someone says here, I agree with the argument that Dr. Minnis will be the next leader in the next 5 years if he's selected the leader of the party. The difference is when F&Ms are mad with the party, they stay home. So if they keep Dr. Minnis on their base, which did not show up on September 16th, it will reduce further, and the PLP will win by default. Okay.
You say so.
This goes back to what we were talking about, the caller who was saying that these people need to go and we need to keep voting them out every 5 years. Yeah. This texter says, none are innocent. They allow the leader to do as he pleased. They are just as bad as the leader or cowards. Okay. This one says here, the problem with every new government is the beginning of their administration. They come in and move around people in the government working sector and move contracts from one person to another because of politics. For example, look at the promotions and hiring confirmations. They disrupt the lives of the very people who may have supported them. They end up losing support in the first few months of their administration and set the opposition on a course to victory. Okay.
I agree with that more so than the other ones.
Good morning. Which ministry and minister is now overseeing local government for the Family Islands, and what are the functions of local government? Okay. It's the Ministry of Family Island Affairs, we've been told. And functions of local government, I mean, I don't know if you... Anyway. That's a whole other show. And something that we'll need to talk about soon. But, your question is interesting. Strange, but interesting.
They want to know.
Yeah, okay. Google it. But we'll do some shows on it. I mean, we can't answer the question now. And the local government system that we have is not functioning in the way it should be. Right? So, but again, that's a whole other show. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strong.
Hi, good morning.
Great. Trust that all is well. Mr. Hannah,
hey,
you are the reason why I'm calling. I trust that you are well.
I'm doing my best.
Man,
holding on to God's unchanging hand.
Okay, let me straighten something. Why do I haven't called for a bit? Because you have been on point since just prior to the election and after the election. You and especially that new guest you have. She's lovely. But to all of them, Palm and Chester and all of them. But to speak to my favorite, Mr. Hannah,
hey.
Just for clarity, yes, he did say it. It was not a paraphrase, Mr. Strawn. He said, in the next term, I have the clip, I would like to concentrate on the poor. His exact words. He did. It was not like an implication. It was strictly using the word next term, poor. And he lost us, I mean, before then, but when you talk about really suck your teeth, cut your eye, Bahamian style at someone, that's when he got it, man. So, Mr. Hanna, that's for you, So now you don't have to guess if he said it verbatim or whatever. But that's what it is. He came right out, and he was not a smile, It was better than Fishing from the Moon quote. When he did that, it was like, what?
Well, we can understand what you mean by next time for the poor. Fishing from the Moon, we still haven't deciphered that one yet.
You ain't get that yet, right?
Well, I mean, maybe that's what he does. Yes, when it comes to these folks, I'm very slow. I can't imagine.
So that means you ain't get the conspiracy. Remember when you had them rats and dogs conspiracy with your garbage, didn't it? A couple of years back. You ain't get that yet? Like,
oh.
Mr. Hanna, please.
Stephen doesn't get it either, right? I mean, what
Stephen
no, I do understand what he means by fishing from the moon. He's trying to say you're reaching. But
Thank you.
At the same time, there was an easier way to say it.
Yeah. Mr. Strachan, man, I can write some things down and
yeah.
Yeah, because,
You think that's what he meant. But okay, it could be.
Listen, you guys take care, man.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right, let's take this call quickly. Then I want to get to some of the comments about the speech from the throne from the opposition. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, sir. What I see is none of these governments has governed for the poor. Ministers govern for the people, but not the poor people, like all these others, all the other governments. What both of them have the same economic principles. They all believe in the PPPs. Public-private partnerships. When the FNM said they're going to do it for the airports, the airports in the Palm Islands, the PLP was against it. Now the PLP is saying they're going to do it for the hospitals, But they're going away from what the norms are. They want to take things from Singapore one day. The next thing you want to take something from the U.S. The other day from Norway. You see what Singapore did was they went into private companies and became a part of them. You understand what I'm saying? They invested in them. Some of them became majority shareholders, some that's minority shareholders with controlling interests, right? But not the other way around. You see, what our government should be doing is make the things like the public hospital. They need to keep it public. You understand me? And invest in hospitals like doctors. Get some shares in them. Get some benefits from the profits. You see, so we got to get this right. Singapore goes into many of these companies. They have companies that are solely owned by them. That's what you call it, our capitalist government corporation. The same thing that's happening in China.
Okay.
You see, and our government has to get to that where we spend our money, the public finances, the capital, on corporations to make money for them outside of the census services that needed that where the profit is not so much the objective. But
thank you very much. All right, thank you. Well, we'll see. This text here, people need to realize that the FNM party that Dr. Minnis leads is not the FNM. Everything that he has done is against the core principles there. The most striking example of this is the way he created different factions in the party and then victimized party supporters whom he believed were not in support of him. Okay. Another text here. A republic form of government is an alternative, but not necessarily a solution. The problem with politicians is integrity. They seem to have no convictions. We are a partisan political democracy, which does not augur well for change, and more importantly, a government that sees Bahamians and not political supporters.
So here's the thing about in that integrity bit, right? If you are waiting for somebody to have integrity, that's great, but you basically waiting for a chosen one to arise from the people. What you have to do in the meantime is set a structure where it's like the person who has zero integrity, if they were put in that position, they would be forced to act as though they have integrity because of how the system is structured. Mm-hmm. And that is what it may be a republic, it may be something else. I personally do not believe that we should have one single individual with all sorts of power with no impunity. We should be ruled by some level of a council, but that's my personal opinion. We we need to figure out a system that works specifically for us to move us forward and set the system up so that no matter who gets in the seat, they will be forced to do the right thing or be removed, like almost expelled immediately if they start doing something sideways.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we have to build.
All right, let's take this call, and then we're going to move on. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, guys. How are you this morning?
Doing well.
Doing good.
I'll say it as it is. Stephen, back to you now. I would like for you, I challenge you to bring any clipping with any other prime minister that didn't answer any question that was put forward to them to the media, like how Dr. Minnis did the Bahamian people. Bring any, I challenge you to do that. And I'll tell you this, Dwight. Dr. Minnis shouldn't even think of running for leadership. The reason I'm saying that is because Dr. Minnis emulated a tyrant, okay, as the prime minister, because nobody could have said anything to him. You realize now Dr. Minnis is more in the media, more now when he's now the opposition leader than when he was the prime minister. Do you guys realize that?
It's easy to be the opposition. One question, caller. How old are you?
Pardon me?
How old are you?
Well, I'm 57.
Right. So you don't remember when Ingram was in charge?
Ingram never didn't answer the media. Ingram mightn't give you the answer.
I have a very specific memory.
But again, Stephen, it wasn't all the time. Yes, he often had a snarky comment, but he answered most of the time, and most of the time, and Perry Christie often gave a very long response. You might not have gotten an answer, but at least he spoke to the media, unlike what Minnis did.
I hear what both of you guys are saying, but once again, the caller said he challenges me to bring a clip where they didn't do it once.
Any one of those prime ministers before Minnis never answered the media. They mightn't give the media the answer they wanted, but they spoke with the media. Okay? Minnis starts saying one is 2, 2 and 2 is 3. What part of that you don't understand? You know how that sound to the public that goes worldwide? As a prime minister? Come on, man, Stephen, man. We are better than this, man.
Come on,
Stephen.
What are you talking
about? Would you want a person like that now run again?
I don't want any of them. I don't understand.
All right, we don't have to dwell on this. But caller, thank you very much. We don't have to dwell on this. But Stephen, like we said, it was like this all the time. But we don't have to repeat this. We've spent far too much time on that.
Here's the thing. I'm not repeating anything.
Yeah.
I literally said the thing that I said.
Okay, good.
However, clearly it is not understood.
Yeah, but you're also wrong. You're also wrong, right? That's what we're saying.
How am I wrong?
The man never answered questions, unlike the others who might have chosen on an occasion to be very vague, right? But it wasn't their usual response to every question that was asked.
You are hearing the same thing that the callers are hearing.
Okay. But again, let's not dwell on this. We got to move on. I need to get to another topic.
You brought it back up.
Yeah.
I didn't say that everybody else always didn't answer questions. I said everybody did it at some point.
Yes, of course. Everyone does that.
Okay, so no, that's what I'm saying. Don't say that I'm wrong. Say that he did it more frequently. I agree with you.
He did it all the time.
Okay.
Right.
So we are all on the same page.
Okay, very good.
Don't say that I am incorrect. That Ingram never did it, and Perry Christie never did it, and other people never did it. Other people did it as well. I'm saying it's wrong across the board. We need
There are times when you aren't going to be able to answer the question, and you can't answer the question. We accept that. We accept that.
I'm not talking about that.
But that's what happens then.
No, okay.
Right? Like there's this, I can't answer this. Let me give you some little snarky comment. Wow, we would have preferred the answer, but give me a chance. I'll get back to you. We'll address that in the House.
I'm not talking about that either.
Okay, but we got to move on. Anyway, so he, as you mentioned, he is talking a lot more in opposition than he did when he was the prime minister, unfortunately. And he had some unusual things to say about the speech from the throne. Let's go back. We wanted to talk about this yesterday, but didn't have enough time. This is a report from our Jared Higgs on what the former Prime Minister Minnis said about the speech from the throne.
Dr. Minnis defended a statement he released earlier in the day, calling the opening of Parliament unconstitutional because it wasn't taking place in the city of Nassau, as specified in a proclamation read by the Governor-General on August 19th. Subsequent to that statement being sent out, BIS Director General Elcott Kobe sent a document to media showing that a proclamation was made allowing for the opening of Parliament to be held at Baha Mar.
That was to ensure that the public knows that there's a policy protocol that we follow.
Dr. Minnis, who was elected as the Member of Parliament for Killarney, spoke to reporters in the hallway near the Convention Centre after Parliament was adjourned. There, he criticized the speech from the throne, saying many of the ideas seemed to be copied from the FNM.
The speech from the throne seemed like a copy of our proposals that we were presenting throughout this entire electoral process on our...
Among the ideas that Minnis says he hopes are carried out by the Davis administration are the Universal School Lunch Program and the After School Program. Those were promised by the FNM on the campaign trail. And Minnis says together, he believes they can help improve the overall health of young people.
In addition to the lunch program, they'll be able to reduce obesity, thus reduce the demand in our hospitals, to reduce hypertension, thus the demands in our hospitals, reduce diabetes, reduce the need for renal replacement surgery. So those programs, I think, are a must.
Minnis also slammed the new government, saying the pressure is on them now to provide the free COVID-19 antigen testing it promised, as large resorts like Atlantis announced that its employees will have to foot the bill for their weekly antigen tests.
This government had made a commitment that antigen testing will be free. So Atlantis should not have an issue. All of those individuals who must have antigen testing, the government made a statement repeatedly that antigen will be free. So that should not even be an issue.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Jared Higgs.
What do you think's going on there? What's that? What's that all about?
We already established that when you in opposition, all you got to do is just say whatever the other person did is wrong.
And then the party continued along those lines, issuing a statement, although it seems like a whole day later, saying that the speech from the throne failed to address the seriousness of the country's fiscal situation, did not provide any details on many of the government's promises, and failed to say how those initiatives would be paid for. In a statement, the party said the speech did not provide the necessary plans and policies that will maintain the significant economic recovery started by the Minnis administration. To not contain the plans? Did you want the Governor General to read all the details right there and then in Baha Mar when they're likely paying for the hour and I mean, I don't understand, but where does that ever happen? Where you'd get the details? Why are they behaving like this? Did they do that? It's very bizarre. Very bizarre. What say you all on this, folks? We'll take some calls really quickly. You need to take a break soon. And you can continue to text us or tweet us or Facebook us on this. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Donald.
Hey, morning. How you doing?
Dwight, did Dr. Minnis attend the thing at Bama?
He did.
So if that was illegal or whatever he was saying, why did he attend it?
Well, as you heard, he changed his position there, as the Governor General did do what he said hadn't been done. It did happen, so
You know
he
what I
changed
get
his
from
tone
Dr.
on it.
Minnis? Dr. Minnis need to stay right in opposition, because he can't handle power, You see how much Dr. Minnis is talking in front of the media right now? Talk now. Just a couple months ago, you couldn't get him to speak to no one. You notice that?
We do.
Well, and you know what our worst enemy is? Our worst enemy is ourselves, When we say, I will never vote nothing else but FNM, I will never vote nothing else but PLP, that's our worst enemy, ourselves. Because as soon as they know that, they don't care about you. You was a fool. You can vote for me no matter what happened, you can vote for me. That's our problem. As soon as the election is over, we're supposed to take our colors off, throw them down, and say, look, what you promised us, that's what we want done. Anyway, you guys, have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. As we go to the break, someone says, why doesn't the media boycott Minnis like he boycotted the media during his reign? Well, the media is not supposed to be petty like that, and should be
And you
more
have to fill up the rest of the pages.
Should be more professional. Sometimes the opposition makes a lot of sense. I don't know about this one yet, but sometimes they do. And sometimes they really do see things that you wish the government would see. So that wouldn't be good. But is he going to be the leader going forward after next month? Will that be an issue at all for the media? We will see. We will see. All right, we're going to take...
we're still going to... he's still going to make it on the news if he's willing to talk. It's the same way where chairmen of parties will give their opinion about stuff when their party isn't in power and it's a government issue, not a party issue.
When the party is in power, you mean?
No, when their party is not in power. We've had both on the PLP and the FNM side where your party is not in power. Why are you talking? The chairman of the party is like, oh, this government thing is this and that. Because whoever will talk.
That one I'm not having the issue with. It's when your party is in power and you're issuing statements and wait, now, why are you issuing this statement? We need to hear that from a government minister or from an official government statement. Why is the party commenting on this? But when you are in opposition and you're making observations on things, I can swallow that pill a lot easier than when you shouldn't be speaking on this.
The chairman should sit where he is. You're the chairman of a party, not a chairman of a government or anything. You have persons in government who can speak. Let them speak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you're in government, but when you're in opposition.
No, right. I said I don't ever want to hear from the chairman.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to do the drawing for today for the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle, and we have a lot more on what came out of the speech from the throne. We're going to get into that in Morning Blend Business, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
What happened to you? You look like you lost your paycheck.
Man, I just realized I got scammed out of a bunch of money. They said I won this contest and just needed me to send them some money so I could collect. I mean, to expedite something. Or was it to smooth the process?
Man, you're smarter than that. Protect yourself against scams and fraud by following these steps. If you know you didn't enter a competition, you can't win. Never pay to receive a cash prize. If you're being asked, you're being scammed. Check trusted internet sites for verification of information given to you. Do not give your banking details to people you don't know. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Monitor your bank account regularly for any questionable transactions. Get more information at getmoneysmartbahamas.com.
Hurricane season is here. If you're not prepared, it can really turn your life upside down. Fortunately, there's CG Atlantic General. Our people are here, ready to assist at a moment's notice, with protection like alternative accommodation for those who are displaced due to a storm. It's our priority to make sure you have what you need when you need it most. So when your life gets turned upside down, we can help to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Contact a CG Atlantic General broker today.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
For 38 years, Strachan Commercial Pest Services has provided trained certified technicians while using environmentally safe, industry-standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Strachan provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Strachan, #1 in pest control services.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy up to 150 megabits per second plus 157 TV channels and unlimited home phone minutes for only $99.99.
Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network. Conditions apply.
Reimagine Auto Wow with RBC Financing. Drive home happiness with RBC Financing affordable packages. Experience the RBC difference with up to 100% financing, extended repayment terms, and step-by-step guidance from a team of mobile experts. Find out more at rbc.com/Caribbean/autoloan. Reimagine Auto Wow with RBC.
Have you heard about the COVID vaccine raffle? If you are vaccinated against COVID-19, you can enter to win amazing prizes like food storage certificates, protest days, beach excursions, and so much more. Even if you are previously vaccinated, you can still enter to win. The COVID vaccine is free, safe, and protects you from severe COVID-19 infection. Don't delay. Get vaccinated today and enter to win. Visit www.pafbahamas.com to register. To win a relay, each team member must do his or her part in the race. If one member drops the baton, it impacts all of us. Across our ages, genders, abilities, nationalities, cultures, or religions, we are all on the same team. And we all have a role to play in getting to the finish line to win the race against COVID-19. Don't drop the baton on safety. Wear your mask over your mouth and nose. Keep at least 3 feet distance from others. Do not touch your face. And wash or sanitize your hands often. Together, we will win. This message is brought to you by the Bahamas WHO, Bahamas Research Seafood Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. It's time for the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle draw. And we've got 2 great prizes again today. And who's going to be the winners? We will find out soon. These are the prizes, though. We've got prize number 1, 2 dolphin encounter and beach day passes. 2 dolphin encounter beach day passes. That sounds like a great time. And then the second prize is a $50 Bon Vivant gift certificate. All right?
Just repeat that again.
Which part?
The name.
Bon Vivant?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, no.
All right, so those are the 2 prizes. And remember, folks, you could have been here. Could have been here. Have you registered yet? Are you vaccinated or even partially vaccinated or vaccinated elsewhere, not even in the Bahamas? You could enter vaxbahamas.com, put your name in there, and you could every day win some amazing prizes. And those are the 2 that we're giving away today. Our partners with the U.S. Embassy, securing some great prizes for this raffle. All right, so let's do prize number 2 first. The $50 Bon Vivant gift certificate. Yeah? And the winner today, Tony Miller. Tony Miller, you've won the $50 Bon Vivant gift certificate. Congratulations to Tony Miller. Good stuff there. All right. And you ready for the big one? Steven, do you have any vocal sound effects here? Can you do a drum roll or anything? No?
I mean, I could do a drum roll, but only the people on my side would hear it.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll just leave that there then. All right, so the number one, the big prize today, the 2 Dolphin Encounter and Beach Day passes. The winner is Charlton Meek Knowles. Charlton Meek Knowles, you are the winner. 2 Dolphin Encounter and Beach Day passes. Congratulations to you. Yeah, so good stuff. Enjoy them, and again, you can enjoy this. You can be there. You could be one of the names I call. PaxBahamas.com. Go and register now if you are vaccinated. And congratulations to all our winners this week, and thanks again to the U.S. Embassy and all of our partners for this amazing promotion. Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle will have more on Tuesday because Monday's a holiday. All right, so let's break for news. When we come back, Morning Blend Business, we're going to dive deeper into the speech from the throne, looking at what's been promised for the economy and the business community. We'll get into that in just a few. Stay with us.
Let's celebrate.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, October 8th, 2021. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, joined by Stephen Hanna. And this morning we continue to talk about the speech from the throne. We want to focus on some of the planned initiatives to address business in the country and the economy and getting things back on track. I want to go through that and get your reaction to all of this. We started with quite a bit of this yesterday, but there's so much to talk about. We didn't even get into the minimum wage and livable wage issues yesterday, and more about the ease of doing business and the promises to amend some of the legislation that's already been passed. We want to get into that and your views on what that means and what we can expect. So call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, and text us, 422-4796. Stephen Hanna, anything jumped out at you from what you heard with the speech from the throne, or maybe read, that you have questions about, or that you're curious about, that you like, that you're hoping to see how it goes, that you're skeptical about? What were your takeaways?
About the entire thing.
The entire thing. Anything.
Right. I've learned to not get too excited about a prepared speech, because a prepared speech is something that you had time to sit down and figure out. This is going to sound good. This is going to make people stand up and cheer in the auditorium. I want to see the action. I feel like everybody's speech from the throne has invigorated their base, has given persons who are in the middle something to hold on to for the next 2 to 3 years before all of us get tired of the government. I'm not going to get pulled into the speech, because the speech of the throne had, I mean, most of the stuff sound wonderful. We're gonna figure out a way to reintegrate persons who had criminal records back into society. We're gonna work on the weed bill. We're gonna do things for local government. We're gonna figure out this and that, and the 10% VAT, all this stuff. Everything They had all the hits. All the greatest hits was inside there. And I'm sure that sounds great. I will wait to see the action.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody could tell you they love you. Make me a sandwich.
Oh, okay. That's good enough to prove that you love them? A sandwich?
No, I'm saying anybody could say it. Where's the action? The action of loving somebody isn't just saying the words. I need to see the action of it. So I will wait. And like the speech from the throne is great, but then a year in, 2 years in, there's always the excuse of, well, you know, we wanted to do this, but this happened, or it wasn't economically feasible, or they don't answer you at all. But I want to see the action.
Yeah.
So I would actually rather say, what things from this do you, if they failed everything else, would you be happy if they did just this one thing? And if for me, if they actually put together a proper local government plan for New Providence, I would. I do not see them doing that because that will, what's the word? When you cut that will hindquarter them, like when you cut the hamstring of a horse so it can't run, that's what it will do to them. So like they're not going to do that. But if they did, I would be like, you know, that's me clapping for them.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. So as it relates to business, there were nuggets in there, of course, as they did not provide specifics, and that's not what this is about. And so that's right. We're not expecting that. And I think people were already saying it was boring. I don't know where those people have been. It's never been an exciting speech from the throne. That would be, we wouldn't know what to do with ourselves if that were to happen. But okay. But
I would be upset if it was.
It would be bizarre. Like, oh, so you're trying to turn this into a
show.
A show, and it's not
rally.
supposed to be that. Right. It's not a rally. And so I think that's, we all need to understand, again, on the same page there. Okay. So now this is what the sections relate to the economy. The government will focus on issues that rescue, restore, and strengthen the economy. The government will pursue strategies to address infrastructural needs of the country, will pursue measures to stabilize public finances and increase public revenue, will implement a debt management plan to address the historic debt burden and deficit, will amend the Procurement Act to strengthen provisions for Bahamian participation in government procurement at all levels, will amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act to strengthen the independence of the Fiscal Responsibility Council, and will amend the Public Financial Management Act to ensure full compliance with all existing legislation. And will also amend the Commercial Enterprises Act to ensure that when jobs are being filled, Bahamians receive the highest priority. And will introduce measures to encourage renewable energy industries in solar, wind, wave, and ocean thermal energy, recommitting the Bahamas to a minimum reliance on renewable energy by 30% by 2030. Now, that's what's been said, so that's nothing new, but I guess they aren't going to change that. Right. And they're also going to introduce a merchant shipping bill to bring our jurisdiction in line with its international obligations, contemporary practices, and to enhance our competitive edge in the global maritime industry, and promote Grand Bahama to harness the power of the maritime industry. Okay, so let's discuss, and then we can go further into some other parts of it. But let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning.
Hi.
Yes, gents, and I'm so pleased to hear about the solar energy part because we want to be aware that that will increase our revenue as well as decrease our light bills, the cost of energy costs for business, as well as affect retail wages, and again, making revenue for us because we can sell solar energy to neighboring countries, the USA, Cuba, Haiti, whatever. So yes, I'm really going to hold the government's feet to the fire to make sure that they come through with the use of solar energy for the Bahamas. And let's see if they have the guts to go against big oil. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Interesting. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You are on Morning Blend Business.
Good morning. I'm calling to make a suggestion to Morning Blend. As the fourth estate and a national voice, some would say the voice of the people, how about you monthly remind the nation of the speech from the throne and play that, which would in turn also remind the government what they promised and what they should be doing, as it is what we expect as a nation.
Mm-hmm. Play the whole thing?
I mean, as
What
much
the
of it as you can.
Okay. Yeah. Stephen, what do you think about that?
What, playing the whole thing? No. I mean, I feel like to some extent that is what is and will happen, because it's not like with the previous administration, we didn't bring up the fact that you guys promised
fixed election dates,
right.
campaign finance
And then-
reform,
and when the
local
then
government for New
AG was
Providence.
like, the then AG was like, we never said
Right.
that. And then we came back and was like, yeah,
And
here's
we
the
play
clip.
that over
And then
and
they said,
over.
that's not me. That's a ventriloquist. This is trickery.
People
That's
say
all this
things
is
on the
fake
campaign trail and make all kinds of promises.
Right.
Really, right?
Which,
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, that is probably the most honest thing a politician has said in the past 20 years, which is, don't expect anything I say on the campaign trail to count.
Mm-hmm.
You say anything to get with her, it doesn't mean anything.
Wow. But caller, we get your point, and we won't let them forget, and you all have to do your part as well, right? Everybody has to do their part. When you see your politicians out and about over the next 5 years, remind them, oh, we're still waiting on the campaign finance reform. We're still waiting on the fully implemented Freedom of Information Act. We're still waiting on all these things. When are you going to get to that? When are you going to get to that? When are you going to get to that? Remind them. No chat about how's the family, how's the job, how's the... No, when are you going to get to this? Yeah? Okay. All right. Everybody's got to do it. We will do it. You all do it too. All right. So Laverne mentioned this yesterday, the maritime industry for Grand Bahama. I don't know if there was any mention of the tech hub, but things are happening still. But will it be both? Will it be everything? What will Grand Bahama be? Do we know? Do they know? Does anybody know? Is it whatever works? Throw everything on the wall, whichever one sticks. What is the plan there? And what are we doing exactly? Now, if later it does say that they're going to allow for all the islands to have a plan for their way forward, right? And when they get into local government, let's see if I can pull that up. But the government will capitalize on the ongoing success of the industrial sector on Grand Bahama and use the investment arm of the Ministry of Grand Bahama to create a one-stop shop to attract new, local, and direct foreign investment by way of duty-free concessions across the entire island. Family Island affairs and local government are priorities for the government. My government will develop strategic plans for each island. My government will work towards the finalization of a local government act for New Providence. My government will empower local government with revenue-raising powers and share jurisdiction over local affairs and community management and development. Yeah. So what do you think that means? Will it be people in New Providence deciding the way forward, the plan for these islands, or will they play active roles in this? We know what it should be. I'm sure we do, right? But what will it be? And how will that work? How does that work? And Grand Bahama desperately needs one. As again, it does seem like it's trying to hit whatever's moving out there.
Yeah, I need the local government stuff to not be in name only, and also if that could be freed from all political influence as much as possible, that'd be great as well.
Now, what does that mean?
I don't want them, whoever becomes the local government, whatever, to be beholden to whatever party they like the most, whatever color they like to wear. I want them to be beholden to the people on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to be hard, right? I mean, it could be hard or not. It depends on you, the voters. If you see this, if you know the history of this person who's running, and you know that they are all up in the party's belly, then be cautious. But if this person has no track record of being political, maybe that will be a better local candidate or representative for you. But so that's up to us. We need to, and of course, if they follow legislation that's been already drafted and blueprints that have been already drafted, these things would have to be known and declared, and so you'd have a clear picture of what is going on with the candidates, and you'd have to live in the area, so this person wouldn't be a stranger, someone who just appeared there out of the blue. It wouldn't be like that.
No one's sent to you. You got to send people.
That's your neighbor. He lives down the street, and he knows his community very well. He knows what the problems are.
And they know where he lives.
Right. But we will see. We will see. More calls coming in. Let's go to them. Good morning, caller. Your Morning Blend Business.
Morning.
Hi.
My name's Stephen.
Hey, morning. What's up?
Listen, you know what I observed over the last 50 plus years with successive government, that they bring these manifestos and all these other fancy things and all kind of things and what they say they could do. And then they read it from the throne. And then they hardly ever get 50% or 40% of what they say they could do done. Right? Now, especially in opposition, Mr. Minister, all of a sudden now he could find the mic, he could find the voice, he could find this. And the other government, the same thing over all the years. You know what that's telling me, Dwight? That's telling me all these politicians doing is BSing the Bahamian electorate. That's all they doing. Do you understand me?
Yep. We do.
Anyway, thanks for taking my call.
We have to show that we don't like it, though, right? Too many of us are willing to show up with their pom-poms when they do call elections and to dance in the street in the middle of a pandemic for them. And so you don't have a problem with it. Clearly, that's what they're thinking. The turnout showed some people that perhaps things are changing, but did they get a strong enough message?
No, and they won't ever get a strong enough message until they're both gone. As long as the other person still has a chance, then they feel like they have a chance. You got to get rid of all of them. Like both parties have to go. It cannot be a situation where it's like when the PLP loses, then they'll learn. When the FNM loses, then they'll learn. Because we see right now, Parliament ain't even start yet. We're 1 month away from when the election was. And the FNM is like, yeah, boy, we got to get ready for when it's our turn in 5 years.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning. I'm Steven.
Hi.
The gentleman, he tickled me today. He said you need to play the speech to the throne regularly. You could go to YouTube and watch it over and over. You understand what I'm saying, Dwight?
Yeah, but you understand what he's saying.
No, stop me out.
Yeah, well, just make it so that they don't forget. Not that you don't forget, but that they don't. That they hear us playing it over and over. I don't think we have the time for that. But I do get what he's saying. That,
I get what he's saying.
Yeah,
I get what he's saying.
we can't let them forget that you promised these things and that we're waiting for those things. Some of those things we really do appreciate and would like to see, and we're going to hold your feet to the fire.
What I do is I would buy a notebook and write down what they have done so far and what they ain't done. And when the politicians come to my house, I remind them what Jordan do.
Yeah, well, yeah. And do that when you see them on the street in the next 5 years. Every time you see them, hey.
Well, you can see them on the street. They be in the air-conditioned car.
Right. And
they don't walk on the street.
No, they can walk on the street.
Some walk in the mornings, no?
They be air-conditioned. You can't hear them.
Mm-hmm. They go jogging in the morning. Jogging in the morning.
Right?
So, yeah,
So
yeah.
I got to go all the way out west. But you know, all of them inside Kalani, right? Like none of them living on this side of the island.
East as well. Okay. But hey, boy. Okay. So somebody's asking about freedom of information. Yes, they did say that. They said that the government will not tolerate corruption and is committed to introducing effective anti-corruption legislation. The government will govern for the many and not for the few and promote the best interests of Bahamians and the Bahamas. Will increase accountability and transparency. Will fully implement the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act. This is my goodness. This is
familiar.
Like the Chinese that Aaron Green talks about all the time. He's everyone that's just talking about it, but has anyone seen it? Is it happening? Is it real? How long can we be? Boy, I tell you. Measures will be introduced to amend the rules of the House of Assembly to enable fixed sessions of Parliament.
Right. And that makes me feel like that is their attempt to say that they're going to do fixed elections. Because if you have fixed sessions of Parliament, you know, eventually it'd be like, okay, this many sessions. If the session ends here every year, then we know election has to happen around this time.
Right. It would be good to get clarity on exactly what they mean by that.
And that is the problem. I need them to say in words what they are saying. And they're not going to do that because they need enough space for when they don't do it.
Yeah,
so
it's so vague,
say,
right? You don't know.
We never said that.
That only
we
meant
said,
right.
Fix whatever.
Yes.
We just want you to know when we're going on vacation for Christmas or when we're going for lunch in the summer. You know, but we never said, hey, guys, election will happen every 5 years unless something big happens on October 5th or May 28th.
Yeah, so that would be interesting to know what that means. Another one here is the government will pursue a foreign policy that promotes and upholds our founding principles of democracy, human rights, and non-interference. Will strengthen its engagement with the international community, becoming more strategic and deliberative in our participation in regional and international organizations. And in collaboration with neighboring countries, the government will work to strengthen our maritime borders and seek regional solutions to common issues such as migration. Okay. Let's take this call and see what you're saying. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Good morning, caller.
Again. Hey, Dwight, on your thing, right, one of the questions that we have to be into ask is I think you media people do it all the time. What, when, where, who, why, and how. And these are the questions that we have to begin to ask as we ask them to lay them out, going down the list of things that we are facing, such as health, education, housing, food, national security, immigration. We have a financial crisis, a job crisis. We need a need for land reform, promise of natural resources, sovereign wealth fund, tax reform, term limits, fixed date.
Energy.
Yes, energy. And the big five for me, though, is the freedom of information, transparency, accountability, integrity, and anti-corruption laws. And so now that we are moving towards, and I think the individual idea concerning to play it may be too time consuming on your station, which is a revenue-based type environment. But we as individuals, our collective can, from social, civic, and community groups, can begin to document and track as well as make demands of our individual MPs who then make demands of their political party. Hopefully our voices will be heard in the House of Assembly and we hold them accountable. But I think this is the most opportune time for us, with the seemingly number of people who is disenfranchised or totally disinterested in it, to bring them into the fold with a cognitive conversation of what's now and what's next. And so I think now is the time, more than anything else, for the change that we've been crying about. And the simplest way in ending is this: form ourselves into small groups, which will become bigger groups. But if you take control of each constituency, and when you have 20 of the constituencies that reflect your voice in Parliament, you now have control of your government.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, thank you very much.
You don't even need 20. 12 will do it. 10 will do it.
All right.
If the FNM is opposition with how many people? 7? If the PLP was opposition with 4, I feel like if we get 5 people who actually care about their community, that is enough to make a real change, because we don't have 5 people that are going to tell the PLP, hey, I choose my people over you.
Well, you know what needs to happen for that to start. Just do some of the jobs that they have, and then all of a sudden the tongues will be unleashed, and they will be able to speak for us all. But for now, this is where we are at. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's in here about education and minimum wage, livable wage. Is it going to be possible? We'll get into all of that when we come back. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Why you look so Marshall is brought to you by Shield Insurance and Prudential Law Adjusters.
And a final look at traffic this morning, and here's a blow me down moment. Samala Highway is cleared. Very little minor traffic leaving that exit right now. Of course, it caused an extensive traffic line on Tonicsville and Darling Highway, but that's also moving. It's not hanging up. It's moving. So that area is going to be cleared pretty quickly this morning. You still got a hefty traffic line coming along Gladstone Road, attempting to get out, so they're back up still a bit over there. Carmichael Road, not bad, though, to get up there on the Blue Hill Road, and running along Blue Hill Road. It's just a minor slope as you approach the hill, of course, but getting over the hill, once you've done that, you're in the clear. Now, what's holding up that getting off the hill at Blue Hill Road there is what's coming in on Tonicsville and Darling Independent West Lane going into that roundabout. You've got that hefty traffic that came off East Street that's backed up there, slowly moving through there, so that's slowing that roundabout down a bit. But once you get through there, then you're free. It's all clear after that. East Street headed into the roundabout there on East Street. It's not a hefty traffic, but you do have a little bit of congestion. For those that are coming in from the south, especially after crossing Soldier Road, you run into the traffic light a little bit of slow to get into the roundabout ahead. Elsewhere across the island, it's just a gradual growth of traffic for the remainder of the day. So Wolf Road is growing. Coming along Prince Charles Drive, growing. Surprisingly, Eastern Road has no hefty traffic line leaving there at this hour. And leaving from the west, once you pass Saunders Beach roundabout coming in, you will slow down a bit, but no hefty traffic delays getting into the city over there as well. This National Traffic Report service of Garden of Eden, where you're able to enjoy the best sport and stew on the island. That's Thursday through Sunday and lasting until 3 o'clock in the afternoon as well. Remember this number, 819-5574, to make your order and get easy pickup direction. With the Riders Guide, look at traffic in real time. I'm VANN.
Michael was in a horrible car accident. Prudential Loss Adjusters managed his claim and got him the settlement he deserved. Sierra's roof received hurricane damage. Thanks to Prudential, she and her kids are happy with their claim settlement. Tammy fractured her ankle in a slip and fall. Prudential saved her time, money, and peace of mind. Prudential Loss Adjusters are here for you whenever a tragedy strikes. Call 322-4026 now.
Protect the things that really matter to you. Shield Insurance is the insurance company that grows with you to meet your insurance needs through this beautiful adventure we call life. From automobile to home to life and health, boat, liability, construction, and business insurance, Shield has affordable policies, flexible options, friendly service, and the expertise to protect your hard-earned assets. Shield Insurance agents and brokers in Nassau, call 356-7202 or Freeport 352-5945.
Why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and Gretzy.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers, then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and junking.
No way.
A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody gonna know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you, and your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
You have a new text message from Scotia.
Scotiabank is adding text messaging to its communication channels to keep customers updated in quicker and safer ways. As of November 4th, Scotiabank will be using text messaging to provide notifications on the minimum payment required for your credit card and due dates. Customers may continue to access their credit card statements on Scotia Online or through our mobile banking app. Learn more by contacting customer care-bahamas at scotiabank.com or call 356-1697.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Newly appointed Minister of Economic Affairs Michael Halkitis, in an address to the Bahamas Financial Services Board, vowed to improve the Bahamas' ease of doing business ranking and remove the roadblocks for entrepreneurs. Halkitis, who was the keynote speaker at the BFSB's 23rd annual general meeting, said his ministry plans to lead the charge in changing the Bahamas into a more business-friendly jurisdiction. The Bahamas' ranking on the World Bank's 2020 Ease of Doing Business Index currently sits at 119 out of 190 countries. Halkitis says the government will do its part in spurring innovation through their digitization and ease of doing business efforts, and will roll out technologies that will allow for government services to be as efficient and effective as possible, while introducing policies that will empower entrepreneurs rather than impeding them with bureaucracy and red tape. And it is anticipated that individuals and their financial institutions will be able to access credit information from CRIF Information Services Bahamas, which operates the Bahamas' first ever credit bureau, as early as the end of this year. Deputy Manager of the Bank Supervision Department at the Central Bank of the Bahamas, Cherise Saunders, says very soon consumers will be able to look at their credit reports and make sure it's correct or updated. Consumers will have access to the credit bureau. If you go to the website, you'll be able to see that there are a number of frequently asked questions that can give you some guidance on the matter. You're allowed to have a free report once a year. Otherwise, you can receive it at a cost and will be able to see what's there for you. Additionally, lenders are obliged to provide you with information should you ask on whether or not information has been shared on you. So there is the ability for you to know what the lender has received on you and also to get information yourself. You can read more about this in today's Guardian business section. Forward bookings for Bahama are inching closer to 100% of pre-pandemic occupancy numbers. That's according to the resort's Senior Vice President of Administration and External Relations, Robert Sands. Sands says looking ahead for the rest of the year, bookings are only about 15% off of 2019's historic levels. And Virgin Voyages' Scarlet Lady cruise ship pulled into Nassau's cruise port yesterday with almost 1,200 passengers on its maiden voyage from the port of Miami, more than a year and a half after it was originally scheduled to make its appearance on the high seas. According to the company's itineraries, the cruise ship will only pass through Nassau once more by the end of the year, though all of its cruises take passengers to the cruise line's exclusive beach club in Bimini, which the ship will visit for the first time with passengers when it departs Nassau. The COVID-19 pandemic stopped all cruise activity since March of 2020, and Virgin was forced to postpone the launch of its first cruise ship, which was also scheduled to sail with Virgin owner Sir Richard Branson on board, who would have been celebrating his birthday. The company also had only just taken receipt of the Scarlet Lady when the COVID-19 crisis exploded in the Americas. Virgin saying in a press release, though, that Virgin Voyages has been 7 years in the making. Overseas, Britain announcing today that it will offer new vaccinations to thousands of people who volunteer for trials for the Novavax coronavirus vaccine, which hasn't yet been approved for use in any country. Almost 15,000 people in the UK got Novavax shots as part of a clinical trial. While the UK recognizes them as vaccinated, most countries don't, meaning they can't travel. Britain's health department said more than 15,000 participants will be given 2 doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. The government says it plans to expand the offer to about 6,000 UK participants in trials of other vaccines that also haven't been approved for use. Britain has appealed to other members of the group of 20 nations to classify clinical trial volunteers as vaccinated, but most haven't done so. And Finland has joined other Nordic countries in suspending or discouraging the use of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine in certain age groups because of an increased risk in heart inflammation, a rare side effect associated with the shot. The Finnish Institute for Health and Welfare saying Thursday that authorities won't give the shot to men under age 30. They will be offered the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine instead. The government agency found that young men and boys were at a slightly higher risk of developing myocarditis. The move by Finland followed similar decisions by 3 neighboring countries on Wednesday. Sweden suspended the use of Moderna for people under 30. Denmark says that those under 18 won't be offered the Swiss-made vaccine. And Norway urged those under 30 to get the Pfizer vaccine instead. All 4 countries based their decision on an unpublished study with Sweden's public health agency, saying that it signals an increased risk of side effects such as inflammation of the heart muscle, the double-walled sac containing the heart, and the roots of the main vessels. However, the risk of being affected is very small. In your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX. From Thursday, your market movers, Bank of the Bahamas, moving 2,000 shares, up 15 cents to 169. Consolidated Water, down 1 cent to 231. Emira Incorporated, up 10 cents to 1032. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,096.30, up 1.04. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report. Brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. We're back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna. We are talking about the speech from the throne, talking about how it affects what's planned in it, what's been promised in it to address economic issues and business in the country, getting your reaction to it as well. Here are some text messages. Someone says, my problem is the promises of these new buildings, hospitals, airports, now road traffic building. So with these public-private partnerships, how much will the government retain, or will these be another mind-blowing deal for the select few? And they go on to respond to the caller who said that we need to play the speech of the throne over and over at least once a month so that everybody can hear, I guess, as a report card, like this hasn't been done, this hasn't been done. So the texter says, no need to play the speech from the throne. We have the blueprint for change. Bahamians need to hold their individual MPs accountable. Well, we have another text here, though. This person says, I think the caller was indicating for the government to provide regular scheduled progress reports and other important information maybe once a month or every 2 weeks, similar to what happens in the U.S., and then with shows like Meet the Press. And okay, so, and that happens. That's been happening, not as often as it used to under the last couple of years with this previous administration. Only a few people made themselves available, and it was getting more and more difficult towards the end there. But most don't tell you no when you ask to come on. Now, maybe they should be more aggressively trying to get on the shows to talk to people, as opposed to being asked. But it depends. Some do reach out, some don't.
We'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. But these folks are a little different.
Okay.
But
if you say so.
Like I said, we had situations in the past under the previous PLP administration, the Christie administration, where cabinet ministers would call in. We had some do it under this administration as well, but quite frequently with the other ones, they'd call in, they'd come to the studio, they'd show up, right? Leslie Miller showed up quite a few times. Jerome Fitzgerald showed up. They'd show up to talk about, no, that's not true. That's not what's happening. We did this. We're doing this. This is what's going on.
Okay. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. What I am encouraging the listeners to do is a year from now, remind Dwight of this conversation.
Remind me.
Yeah.
I won't need to be reminded.
No, I'm saying when you start saying, it'd be great if we could hear from the minister.
Right.
I want the callers to call in and be like,
I will be the first one to say this is even
I
worse.
Need to believe in them on October 8th?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I say I don't have any reason not to believe, but I'm not saying I believe in them. I'm saying that we've seen situations in the past where they've been where they make themselves available. We will see what these folks do.
At the beginning of the FNM administration, I remember sitting in the studio with 3 cabinet ministers when the mud caught on fire.
Yes.
At the same time. And I remember for the first 6 to 8 months, every week we would have a new cabinet minister inside the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And then when things became progressively harder and the honeymoon period was over and they had to make really hard decisions, they became more and more scarce.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So I have as much faith in this cohort as I do or did with the last cohort.
Mm-hmm.
So in a year, let's revisit this conversation.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You got what I was saying, though.
You're saying that you have no reason to not believe in it?
No, I was saying that in the previous administration, the one before that one, it wasn't like that.
Maybe you have different memories of it.
Well, okay. Well, I can tell you that it wasn't like that. That didn't mean anything. We still were in a terrible place, right? And just because you like to talk doesn't mean that anything gets done. It would be great if we could finally have both, where you actually make yourself available and things are getting done. So that's what we deserve, finally one day to have that. And we haven't exactly had that. So that would certainly be a whole new day. A whole new day for the Bahamas, when we not just have talkers or mic dodgers.
We have doers.
We have doers and who will reveal and talk to you and explain what they're doing sensibly and calmly without calling us names or speaking in parables. One day. That is the dream. The great dream for all of us. Okay. More of your messages here. Somebody says, instead of constituency meetings, have ministerial meetings where the Minister of Works, Education, and Health must hold town meetings to account for their respective ministries. Well, they need to do both. Why not both? They need both.
I want the same level of glitz and understandability and shiny paper that we get during the election. When people are in power, I want them to take that same level of, I want your attention for this stuff throughout the administration. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what I don't want is a bunch of very boring stuff that are going to be so boring and so filled with giant words and numbers that nobody's going to pay attention to it. I want you to the same way you package your stuff nice to get in, keep packaging everything nice.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I hear the town hall meeting, and that's important. We need to have those. But also, at the end of the town hall meeting, I need you to drop nice, shiny things to say, here are the highlights. This is the nice chewable bit.
Okay. Another text. I don't feel it would be necessary every month to remind the government about their promises. I feel it would be a waste of time. As a people, we need to make suggestions and work along with our government. We need to give the PLP a chance to prove themselves.
I keep saying that.
How long? How long should it be? The government needs to consider the flooding risk of Grand Bahama when they mention a tech hub. Data center planners choose areas with few natural disaster risks. It sounds crazy, but maybe consider an elevated 25 square mile platform for our own Silicon Valley or Silicon Atoll. Okay. They can have upgraded power and internet for this platform with redundancy. Okay. The government promised a sovereign wealth fund, which will be impossible unless and until we deal with our sovereign debt. All right. Let's get into some other areas of what was promised. This part here dealing with culture and the arts. The government strongly commits to introducing a number of initiatives to support the growth and development of the cultural and creative economy. My government will introduce measures to employ Junkanoo culture and the visual performing arts to drive exports in music, costumes, and art. Employ Junkanoo culture.
Yeah, they don't mean employ as in like give a job. They mean to use.
The government will relaunch and formalize the Sports in Paradise program to encourage major international sports federations and leagues to use the Bahamas as a base. All right. We had some moderate success before, and a lot of opportunities blown in the past 5 years. Of course, the last year was difficult with the pandemic, but before that, we just seemed to have lost a lot of the momentum, the steam that was pushing us along there. But maybe we can get back there. With social services, the government is talking about not leaving the most vulnerable behind. The government will enhance social assistance programs in collaboration with the private sector, and non-governmental organizations will implement immediate relief measures for Abaco, Grand Bahama, and Ragged Island. Through partnerships with social services, urban renewal, and civil society, including churches, the government will work to ensure that every Bahamian has life skills.
Cool.
Okay. Food to eat, clean water, and a roof over their heads. Life skills. Let's talk about that. What do you think that means there?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, before we get to life skills, it'd be great if everybody had a place to live. So I think it might be a little backwards, but okay, cool. Because like a lot of the things that we find ourselves complaining about, those things will start to get handled when people have the basic stuff and you don't have to stress about, hey, where am I going to get money for this thing? You know, like people always saying like, oh, we need more jobs and we need less violence and we need to worry about the family structure. And it's like, people out there don't know like how long of a line they need to stand on to make sure they get food. And it's like, if you stressing out where you're going to get food for you and or your children or your family, it's easy to be very upset at the drop of a hat. You know, so it's like, I don't know what life skills mean. I want to believe it has something to do with math. But at the same, I mean, because that's a life skill.
Well,
understanding math. I don't know if it's soft skills is like, you know, being courteous and how to interact with people and how to talk with people and stuff.
Perhaps
so
a combination of all.
No, life skills has to be like how to fix your toilet or like iron your clothes or something. I don't know. I mean, it'd be great if they explain it in less vague terms, and that's great. But also at the same time, the order in which we accomplish these things is also important. You know what I'm saying? Because you can give a person a TV, if they don't have electricity, it don't matter.
But I don't. But yeah, it might not mean that that's the order of priority there. That's
No,
just
I'm
how
just
it rolls.
I'm not suggesting that it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying let's make sure that we get the order correct.
The government will also increase the pension for senior citizens, will increase the benefits for people with disabilities, and ensure that the provisions for the Persons with Disabilities Equal Opportunities Act are fully implemented and enforced. Finally, and the government will introduce legislation for the protection of consumers. So we don't have that now. We have no protection for as
Not really.
consumers now. Is that okay? Well, that's
Not really.
Good to know. And
I could tell you some stories.
Well, we all have stories, but we thought we had kind of some recourse.
What about they should protect not just consumers but small businesses from these monolithic, mammoth, behemoth, demonic things? Because like you go to some of these places and the product that the company, the store itself is either distributing or producing is the only one with a price on it. And the competing local brands, they're there on the shelf, but they don't have a price on it unless the price is more. And I've seen that occur on more than one occasion inside some of the larger shopping chains inside this country.
Okay.
And so it's like, it's not just the consumers, but it's also these smaller businesses where it's like, if we're not careful, we will, the same way Amazon eating up everything in the States, we will come to a point where it's like, oh, not only does this person own all the food stores, but they also own all of the water and the propane.
All right. And they also say they will increase the minimum wage and phase in a livable wage. As we said, everybody wants more information about that. What does that mean?
I want to know where the money is coming from.
That is,
I want these things. I want all of them. I just don't want in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, they say, we didn't have enough money to do it. So I just want to know the plan for the money.
Yeah.
So so I could support this dream.
But again, especially with livable wage, we've done a number of shows on it, and it's significantly higher than the minimum wage today. And so what does that mean? So are we going to help to bring down the cost of living in the country, which would make
that will be a part of it?
But it can't be the livable wage of what the studies are saying that you will need to maintain or to meet.
The reason they say they're going to phase it in because they're not going to hit it.
Okay.
Like it's going to be like, okay, if the minimum wage is X and the livable wage is Y, you're going to get X 0.5. It's like, so I mean, I already anticipate that. But even with that, there still has to be a level of revenue coming into the country as well as coming into the government so that certain things, because you can't just say, oh, for example, if people are saying the fuel cost is the reason why the price of food costs so much and the price of everything costs so much, you can't just say, well, the government is going to drop the tax it has on fuel because that's revenue to the government to pay for other stuff. So it's like, where's the revenue going to come from when we reduce certain things?
That's
the
multi-million-dollar question. Multi-million-dollar question. Let's take this call really quickly because we are just about out of time. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Gentlemen, and pleasant day to you both.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Hoping and wishing that the author of the speech from the throne or his or her representative could come and explain some of the things that we're asking questions about, especially like the life skills and so on, so we don't have to guess. So I'm hoping that you can identify or find the author to be available or their representative. At least explain, not even to say where the money going to come from, but at least explain the language, what the terms mean.
Yeah, well, I suspect the author might not even know. But yeah, whichever ministry that falls under, hopefully the minister at least would understand and be able to explain that better. So we will see. But we definitely would like to get some explanation for some of these. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. A couple messages before we wrap things up here. Someone says, there's about business buildings they're talking about here. We maintain nothing and just think and unnecessarily use precious tax money to build new buildings and give out contracts where sustained maintenance and cleanliness was all that was needed for these buildings? Is it about being
not cabinet?
Not what?
Not the cabinet building. That there was no hope for that.
No. Is it about being financially responsible or beholding to supporters in the contracts with the contracts to build? We have to change our mindset as a people, otherwise we will continue to be a broke nation with no collective responsibility. Okay. And the final text here, I was about to ask, where will all this money be coming from? Well, we will see. We will see. All right. So there you have it there. If you haven't seen it yet, I hope we can read through it and see what's what and hold them accountable as people. That's a theme that we seem to be having this morning. We all have to do it. The media and you, the public, everybody has to make sure. Because some of these things sound wonderful. They sound fantastic, and we really do need them. But we need to hold them accountable so they do not lose sight of what has to be done. And we all have a role to play in that. Stephen Hanna, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Hope you have a great holiday weekend, sir.
I will do my best.
Wonderful.
I will unfortunately be in New Providence, so all you can do is
you could be in many worse places. So that's good. That's good for you. All right, everybody have a safe one. We'll be back on Tuesday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, and Joy. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.